All right. Paperweight Degrees, episode 4,
On a
live
Wednesday.
here on Twitch on a Wednesday. Very different, but still trying to keep the upload schedule Friday.
Yep.
Episode 4, still no guests, but as always, your co hosts, me, Coulter, along with Tyler, two
Hey, how are
recent
you?
college graduates who are coming to the realization that their college degrees are is about as useful as a paperweight.
This week we are sponsored by fucking idiots who stop at a four-way stop sign and flash their high beams for you to go first. I think
Isn't
we,
that
we need to
triggering?
we need to make a rule. Instead of flashing your high beams to tell someone else to go first, just hit your fucking gas pedal instead of doing that. Just go. Just
Just
go.
go.
No one has time for that. Don't blind me because you're scared to go. Just go.
Is
You
there a
know?
story behind this?
Yeah, well, I mean, just when you're driving at a four-way stop, someone signals for you to go and they flash their high beams at you, it just pisses me off. Why? You took the
Uh-huh.
time to flash your high beams, just hit the gas pedal instead and go.
Were you trying to turn or
No, just I hate when people flash their high beams. It's just dumb. Just go.
wait, so there was someone across from you and you're both going straight?
Yeah, I mean, they clearly stopped first, waiting for them to
Uh-huh.
go, and then they flashed their high beams at me. It's like, dude, just
Yeah,
fucking go.
that's
I
kind of a
hate
dick
it.
move. Why couldn't
That's
you
my fucking. We need to imprison people who use their high beams at a four-way stop.
you couldn't just go at the same time?
No, because he was turning where I was going.
Oh, he was turning.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Oh, okay, so you got there at the same time. He flashed and then you
yeah,
both just kind of looked at each other like,
yeah.
"What the
And
fuck are
well,
you
I
doing?"
went after he flashed, but it's like, don't
Yeah.
fucking flash your high beams. Just go. I don't
Just
understand
do
that.
it.
Why do people not? It's so hard for people at a four-way stop to know who stopped first. It's because where we're at in California, no one stops all the way, so it's just a
No.
mystery who goes first. I stop all the way every time because
You
I'm a good
do?
lad. Yeah. Well, I mean, if
What?
there's no one there, then I won't. But if there's someone getting there at the same time as me, then I'll fully stop. That way we know who's going first. You know? But if no,
Dude, if it's like
if it's not interfering with the turn or something, then no, I'll do a California stop. But I'll
dude,
just
if it's
I'll
like
just kind of wing it.
if it's
But
like midnight in the suburbs,
yeah,
I
no,
won't even like tap the brakes. I'm
no,
just
I
rolling
know.
through.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I do that too. I mean, I stop a little bit, but I'm saying if you're
Yeah.
pulling up at the same time as someone else and it's
Yeah, that's
interfering
different.
with a
Yeah.
turn or something where you're gonna have to figure out who goes first, then you have to stop all the way. That's the reason that you stop all the way.
Yeah,
That way you could see who goes first. And no one stops all
because
the way, so they flash their
if
high
you
beams
both
at you because
yeah,
they're fucking
yeah.
scared. Just go. God, I
Because
hate
if
people.
you stop first, that means you got there first.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But they
That's the
didn't
whole
stop all the
idea.
way. They want to keep going.
They just kept going.
Yeah. God, I hate
Like their
people like that,
headlights gave
dude.
them the authority
Yeah.
to dictate who goes.
You're not in
Motherfucker,
charge
just
of
hit the
me,
brake.
bitch. Just go. Yeah.
Yeah, that
So
guy's a great
anyways,
A douchebag.
that's my
Did you write down his license plate?
yeah, he's reported.
Okay.
Reported and deported.
Yeah, deported. ICE knows about him.
Yep.
The DMV knows about him.
Yeah.
The Mexican drug cartel's on their way.
Yep. By the way, I didn't even see who was in the car. That was just a joke, but
Yeah, there's no racism involved here.
no. Anyways, that's my rant
Alright,
for that. I just
so
don't
let's start
understand
episode
four-way
4. Yeah,
stops. I hate it. Maybe it's just a
I'm.
California thing because I've heard in other states, it's like they call it a California stop where you don't stop all the way.
Yeah,
I'm sure a lot of people do it, but it's bad in California. Nobody stops
yeah.
all the
I'm
way
not
ever,
sure.
ever.
So I've driven to other states obviously, but I haven't made a conscious effort to look for other people doing the same things. Like
Yeah.
just like not stopping. I do know that there are more like driving maneuvers that have names to them that aren't just California stop.
Yeah.
Are you aware of this?
No. Tell me
Okay,
more.
so I think there's something called like a New Jersey left, or maybe like a Boston left, or something like that. But you're at a stoplight turning left, and instead of a green arrow, you just have a green circle, like just a green light. So normally you would yield, but instead, the moment it turns green, you just haul ass and turn left in front of everyone.
Oh,
So
that's kind of a badass name for it.
that's yeah. I mean,
Boston left? Hell yeah, I want to do some Boston lefts, dude. That's sick.
it's like much more illegal. Yeah, and I think the same thing with or maybe like a New Jersey right, where like you're in the left lane and
Yeah, yeah.
you just turn right in front of all the people next to you.
Right.
Yeah,
Man,
Same
people
kind of
make
thing.
me
I've never
so
been there,
angry
so
on
I
the
don't
road.
know.
You know what
You
else
what?
fucking pisses me off on the road? Is people who use merging lanes to speed past people. Oh my god.
That's pretty triggering.
That is I had a guy. I was driving home from college one time. I'd just been on the road for, 4 fucking hours driving home to my parents' house. And there's this
Yeah.
tiny lane on this tiny road in the suburbs where we live. Like, this guy's not an outsider. He knew what was up. And he sped past the stoplight. There's a tiny merge lane right after the stoplight that's no more than 50 feet. It's just
Yeah.
for people turning right to have a merging lane. And he goes past me going 80 miles per hour in a 50 zone. He flips me off and he
Oh
flies
shit.
past me in a merging lane. I, I didn't even do anything. I was just driving normal speed, and
How fast were you going?
I was going speed limit. I was going it's 50 or
Like
something. I was going
50?
50. Yeah, I was just cruising, going through the light, and this guy goes past me at 80 or 90, and he flips me off while he cuts me off. Why would you flip me off if you're going to be a douchebag? Just go around me if you're going to be a douchebag. Why do you have to flip me off?
You should be discreet
Imagine
about it.
flipping someone off when you did the wrong thing. I was so angry, man.
When you did the wrong thing.
I was so
It's like,
angry.
I'm a douchebag and I'm gonna make you feel bad about it.
Yeah. I had flipped him off back. I kind of got a little worried
Oh
because
yeah.
I was really near my house. Could have easily just followed me
Or
home.
just like followed you.
Yeah, yeah.
Or just brake check you.
I've been in a few situations where people just will fly past you in the slow lane or something, and they get pissed. If you're going the
I
speed
hate it.
limit and
Yeah.
they are in a rush, in Arizona, I had another time where I was going down just a pretty big sized road. It's like a three lanes on each side, and I was in the fast lane going the speed. In fact, I think I was going a few miles over the speed limit. It was like a 50. I was going 53 or so. Like I wasn't going slow. And this
Yeah.
guy, he goes around me again at like 80 miles per hour,
Just
and
hauling
he
ass.
pulls up next to me, and he's just flipping me off and like telling me to pull over and stuff. Like, dude,
Pull
I'm just
over.
going the speed limit. I don't know why you're so pissed at me. Just go around. He probably didn't like that I flipped him off back, but
Oh. Yeah, maybe you
whatever.
didn't like
But
that.
why do people get angry when they're doing the wrong thing, right? Why would you get angry at someone going the speed limit,
I don't know.
right? Enough to flip
People are
them off.
crazy, man. People there's a lot of people in this world and you're just it's inevitable to run into the idiots that
Man,
have
I
a
think I
temper.
have a gift for finding them.
You might,
I
because I
hate
haven't had
people
one
on
of
the
those in a
road.
while.
Yeah. It's not so bad, but I also haven't been getting out that much, so that's probably why.
Yeah, quarantine's
Can't
coming
run
up
into
and
idiots if you're in quarantine, you know?
the worst is when you're on the freeway going 80 in the fast lane
Right.
and you have your cruise control set to 80, so you know that even if you're going downhill or
Right.
uphill, you're still going 80, and you're just chilling, listening to your music, and some cocksucker just like pulls out of the double yellow, floors it like 100 past you, and
Yeah.
then cuts you off.
Yep.
I'm like, your mom better have died
Right.
because there is no other justification
Right.
for you doing that right now, you irresponsible citizen.
One time I had a guy do that, and he flew off going like 100 when I was in the Arizona desert, so it's in the middle of nowhere. You got
Yeah.
your cruise control set, and some
Is
guy
it
just
was it one
flies
lane?
past you. I think it was a 2 lane. So
Okay.
it's not like he cut me off or anything, but he flew past me.
Yeah, it's
And
just
I, was just thinking, okay, well, whatever. I have cruise control set. I'm just chilling. And a mile up the road or so, I saw him stopped by a cop, and the cop was giving him a ticket. Man, I was
oh,
so
nice.
excited. That was the best
Oh, that's the
feeling
best, right?
in my life. Yeah, that's only
That's like
happened to
the
me
most.
once.
That's probably the best example of swift justice that
Right?
we
Yeah.
ever experienced in our
Oh
lives. Because
man.
like you hear about shit on the news and then it takes months for anything to happen.
Right.
But this is like an immediate
Right. And you
dopamine
are
rush.
so excited.
You're thrilled. You're mooning him on the way past.
Yeah, you're waving at him.
They're like,
You're
yes,
flipping
suck
him
on
off.
this.
You stop and tell the cop how fast he was going.
Exactly.
Hey,
You have a witness
give him
report.
another ticket. Yeah, I'll be your witness. You need my phone number?
Yeah,
Call
exactly.
me.
What do you need?
I'll go to court.
Call me. Call me.
I'll go to
I'll
court.
pick you
Tell
up.
me where I need to be at. I'll be there. Yeah, that was
Oh, that's
probably
the
one of the
best, man.
greatest accomplishments of my life was seeing that happen.
But to be fair, like it on like on the way to Arizona as well. But I'm thinking specifically on the way to like Vegas, especially on the back road to Vegas. The you're in the middle of fucking nowhere, and if you're flying by on like a 1 or 2 lane highway at 100 miles an hour and you get into an accident, you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah,
There is, and you call
right,
911, you're gonna be waiting at least an hour for someone to
right,
show up.
yeah,
Like SEAL Team 6 isn't just gonna roll up in a helicopter and evacuate you. Like
yeah,
that
yeah,
doesn't work. It doesn't
exactly,
work like
yeah,
that. Like you're taking a serious risk when you're doing stuff like that, and I don't think people realize, like, if are bleeding out, you're just actually
yeah.
fucked.
You're dead. You're done, son.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think? Some bystanders are gonna come perform CPR? No,
Like
no, they're gonna call the
a
cops
little
and wait
surgical
there for an
team is
hour.
just
Yeah,
happens to be driving by. Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
yeah,
Even if a cop does show up, what is he gonna do?
yeah. Well,
Drive you back another 2 hours to the hospital?
right.
Like
Yeah, there's not gonna be an ambulance out there.
you're dead. You're dead. That's known you.
That's why I get nervous when I'm on really long drives in the middle of nowhere with gas. I get anxiety about it. If my gas gets to a quarter of a tank, I'm sweating. Like, where is the next
Oh,
gas
dude,
station?
I
Where is it?
hate that.
I get scared because if I don't make it to a gas station, I'm fucked. I'm gonna have to tell the AAA driver how stupid I am and I didn't stop. Why don't you have gas? Oh, I just didn't stop. I thought I could
Exactly.
make it longer.
I
It's like,
just
oh, you
didn't.
fucking
Yeah.
idiot. Why would you do that? You're in the middle of a desert. So when I'm on long drives in the middle of nowhere, I'm just terrified.
Yeah.
I have to get gas. I'm looking at it every 10 seconds. Like, oh my god, how much has it dropped? How
Every
much has
10
it
seconds.
dropped? I'm in
Yeah.
half a tank. I have to stop again. Maybe not that
Nah,
bad.
man. Yeah, I've done that before, and you look down,
Yeah, you
and
just can't
I remember
stop.
looking down, and it said I had 10 miles left, and the next gas station was like 8 miles. I'm like, this ain't better be fucking accurate
Yeah,
because I'm not pushing this car.
yeah, yeah. That
Yeah,
shit's
it's
funny,
pretty
dude.
it's pretty scary out there,
But
but
I like driving in the middle of nowhere. Just put on a song. I usually listen to podcasts, but music too. It's just if you're in the middle of, especially if you got cruise control. Oh man,
oh,
it's the best feeling ever.
brother, I'm ready to fall asleep.
Yeah, right. Oh,
Yeah,
speaking of podcasts, did you see that Joe
uh-huh.
Rogan signed an exclusivity deal with Spotify?
Yes,
He is
okay, so
leaving
I don't
all
know
other platforms. He's not going to be on YouTube, iTunes, nothing. All on Spotify. And
all of it.
all of it. And in the past, I wouldn't say he's trashed on Spotify, but he's said that he's not interested in Spotify because they just don't pay enough. For him to take his
Oh, yes,
platform
it's
off
true,
of
I've heard that.
Yeah, if for him to take his platform off of YouTube and all of the other platforms and move to the one that he disliked, people are saying it had to have been at least like 100 million deal.
Dude,
I believe it
yeah,
too. Can you
I don't know what
imagine
the
how much
paycheck
ad
is,
revenue
but
and how many people are going to start using Spotify just for that?
yeah, it's gonna be insane. Like that paycheck must have been thick with three
Yeah.
C's because Spotify has to make up all of the lost revenue from what YouTube would have given him, what Apple Podcasts would have
Yep,
given him,
dude, he
what
is
Pandora would
living
have
the
get,
high
like all
life.
of it.
It
He's
kind of
like, yeah, well,
it kind of reminds me of when Ninja moved to Mixer instead of Twitch. It's just
yeah,
big
yeah.
deals, and it's just funny because everyone trashes on these people when they switch platforms or they sign deals, and
Honestly,
they
I don't even know
call
what
them
Mixer is, but
sellouts, and it's like a clone of Twitch basically, but it's I think Microsoft owns it, I believe.
great.
But they're trying to compete with Twitch, and they have been for a while trying to sign over other streamers to get it bigger.
Yeah,
So they signed over Ninja, they signed over Shroud. Um, they haven't really gotten any other big names that I know of. I know there are some that aren't that big, but they've been trying to basically buy people over. But
oh,
that's what I was saying. Is it reminds me of that because everyone just got so
yeah.
triggered when people would sign exclusivity deals. It's like, dude, you know how much money
I
they're
mean,
making? Would you not do that? Are you out of your mind? And people are like, oh yeah, this is the last time I listen to Joe Rogan. I'm not listening. Why? Because he moved to? Are you kidding me? Because he moved to
you can't.
Spotify?
Yeah,
It's free
that's
still.
retarded.
Sure, you might get some ads. He reads ads anyways. You're getting
You
ads either
can't
way.
download an
Like
app.
you're not done listening to Joe Rogan because he moved to Spotify. Get over yourself, dude. You're a liar.
Yeah, that's a joke. It takes 5 seconds to download the app. I know you have space on your phone, and I know you have a fucking smartphone
I
because
know
it's
you have Spotify.
24 to
Everyone has
20.
Spotify. Everyone has
Yeah.
Spotify. It's just funny, man. They get so upset. That, oh, this is the last time I listened to Joe Rogan. I'm not listening on Spotify. Oh, boo-hoo, you have to use... I know you have fucking Spotify. Don't act like you just have to download it and get you... You have fucking Spotify. Get the fuck out of here. But,
Yeah,
with that
yeah.
being said, it will be... I've tried listening to Joe Rogan on Spotify when I first started listening to him, and he wasn't there. And I've used other podcast
Oh,
apps, which are pretty good, that I liked, but I don't think Spotify's that bad. I like Spotify. They're
so
probably just trying to
I'm
grow their
listening.
podcasting brand.
Yeah, I mean, I'm listening to Spotify right now, and I only use it for music.
Hmm.
But I know they have a podcast section. How do they break that up? Like, is it just
There's just
one big
different...
long audio clip, or do they break it up in sections, or
No, it's like a full length episode, and it's
like
just like
2 hour long
songs.
podcast?
If
Just
you don't
boom.
have premium, you'll get some random ads, but it's not that bad. People complain about
Oh yeah,
Spotify for getting free music. It's not that many ads. I have premium anyways. It's not that much money.
yeah.
If you listen to music, you should just invest. My problem with Spotify is I think that they don't, at least from the source. I'm not in the industry. I don't know, but I've heard that the way they pay people is just not very much. Like
Yeah,
the
so
amount of views per percent is really low.
yeah. Well,
But
a couple
that was a
things.
while ago. So I don't know if
Yeah,
it's better now, but I'm sure that Joe Rogan has some crazy deal that he took to make it worth his time.
he's got plenty of money now. That's not the problem. Um, a
But for
couple
the
things
smaller
on
guys, right?
Spotify though. On for Spotify. Okay, well, for any like music or podcast in general, don't you have to pay for to not listen to ads? Like on anything?
Yeah, for the most part.
Like Apple Music, I think that's true, right?
I don't have Apple Music. Oh, we'll get to that. I think I'm gonna get an iPhone this weekend. We'll get to that later though. But yeah, I don't
Ooh.
think so. Don't think so.
Okay, yeah, but like even Pandora, I know they have ads. That's just how music is nowadays. Like if you want to listen to music, if you want to stream music, you gotta listen to ads, or you
Right.
pay
Or you
a
pay.
few bucks a month.
You want to
Yeah.
support the artist, right?
Well, yeah, there's better ways than others, but um, the second point I was gonna say is I have friends that make music, and I know that they bitch a lot about Spotify because
Yeah.
I'm not like trying to put Spotify on edge here. Like I don't have that much influence.
Put them on
Um,
blast.
yeah, put them on blast here. Yeah, but I know for a fact that Spotify does not pay as well as other ways of making money as a
Right.
musician.
Right.
So the fact that they're trying to get and I know Joe Rogan has spoken out about this as well, and I don't remember exactly what he said, but I know to the connotation he was speaking to, he was right.
Yeah.
So they must have done a lot of convincing,
Yeah, in the
or
form of money. A
or
$100
they
million
just
deal. I'm sure that's accurate.
yeah,
People are speculating it's 100 mil. I would easily believe 100 mil. That is
where a few
gonna
people went
that's
on.
gonna get in so much traffic for Spotify.
Hmm.
That's gonna pay for itself so fast.
Yeah, I mean, they can afford to put a few people on vacation, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Send them on vacation.
yeah, like PTO.
What do you use to listen to podcasts?
So I don't actually listen to a ton of podcasts. Um, I I don't know why. I'm more of a music guy,
Yeah.
but
It's a mood. You
I
gotta be in
listen
the
to
mood.
podcast clips
Hmm.
mainly.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a really special guest
Yeah.
that I'm a big fan of. That's the only thing that really brings me into podcasts.
Like
But
Elon Musk on Joe Rogan.
right,
What
yeah,
an
like that's
interesting
an
guy.
exception. Um, so I listen to podcast clips and I do them all on YouTube
Yeah.
just because that's where I find them. I
Yeah,
don't
they're
want to.
convenient.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why this Spotify thing is going to be a big deal. I'm not sure if they're going to break it up into clips like he does on YouTube, or is he allowed to put clips on YouTube, or
I don't know.
is he not allowed to put
That's
anything?
actually a pretty good question. I don't know. Because I know his
Like, is it the
clips get a
whole?
lot of views. I don't know. That's a good. I have a feeling, just a suspicion. I'm just talking out of my ass, but he's probably
Yeah.
going to be able to put clips up. But I don't know.
Yeah. I
Plus,
mean, I guess
plus
just
a
it depends on
whole
what they signed.
he has this whole thing about having a cool studio and he puts stuff up that guests give him and stuff. We're not gonna be able to see that anymore. That kind of sucks.
Wait, say that again. He has a whole studio of.
His whole recording studio. He has an entire studio with like a gym in it and all this stuff. And his desk is just filled with really cool stuff that guests
I've
have
seen his
given him and
desk.
just really cool stuff. And it's
Yeah.
being added to. It's just I was just saying it kind of sucks. We're not gonna be able to see that, right?
Oh,
Because a lot of people do
'cause
YouTube.
Spotify doesn't have.
Right.
Spotify doesn't have any videos, right? Is
And
that
and
is that true?
they play videos on YouTube for people to see while they're talking about it. Which I don't really
Right.
listen to them on YouTube, but for a lot of people that I think that's important for them. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
I
interested to
actually
see if
find
he'll be able to
myself.
put clips up. I feel like he should be able to put little segments up and then link his Spotify like, "Oh, listen to the full thing here," you know? But I don't know. If it's exclusivity, I
Yeah.
feel like he might not be able to, which I don't know. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, I mean, um, I guess we'll see how it plays out. I'm not shitting on any of it. I just hope that
Fuck
with the increased
Spotify.
traffic, Spotify can
I'm done with Joe Rogan. He's a fucking sellout.
fuck you.
Only 100 million and I have to go to Spotify now?
I
Fuck
I
Joe
have
Rogan. Fuck
severe
Spotify.
doubts that it's not. 100 million sounds absolutely insane to me. Um, I don't even know how much revenue does Spotify pull in a year.
I don't know. You think I would just know that off the top of my head?
Yeah, you
Let me
fucking
just
don't.
pull that out of my
Oh, okay.
memory real
Well,
quick. Yeah.
okay, this is just a quick Google Google search, but in the last presented year, music streaming service Spotify generated revenue of over 6.76 billion euros,
Wow.
up five and a quarter billion from the previous year.
Oh, dude, their stock
Holy
since
hell!
they announced Joe Rogan has went up like 8% or something. At
Has
least
it? Let
that's
me
what I
check.
read somewhere. Yeah, check their stocks. I read somewhere that their stocks have went up like a crazy amount since they announced Joe Rogan. That's just
When did they
wild,
announce
dude.
them? Was it today or yesterday?
I think it was yesterday. Yesterday or the day before. I'm pretty sure it was yesterday.
Okay, that makes sense because they jumped
Yeah,
at the opening this morning from around 174 and it peaked at 187,
yeah,
which is a solid, I don't know, a few percentage.
yeah. Quick
That's
maths.
that's yeah, that's pretty solid. I mean,
Can you imagine being Joe Rogan and seeing a company's entire stock go up because you moved to their platform? How wild would that be?
I
I
mean,
mean,
it's not
on
like
top of
earth-shattering
getting a
amounts.
$100 million check, which by the way isn't confirmed forever. Just to be clear, that's the speculation. Nobody knows how much he got or any of the details, but it's
Let's just say a
speculated.
billion because that's not out of the question at this point, right?
Right. No, but it just, can you imagine just one person? You decide, oh, I got a paycheck for moving? Sure. And the next day, their entire stock jumps up. How wild is that? That must be
Yeah,
a
I
roller
mean, you might
coaster.
you probably feel pretty good. I mean, it's not. Let me clarify. It's not an earth-shattering amount that they jumped up. Um, but
But
I would
just for
argue
you
that
to
there's
have an
definitely.
impact on the stock
I
market,
would.
that's just
Yeah,
wild.
I would argue that him signing definitely had some amount of impact this morning when the market opened. Um, however small it may be, but still to have even just to be able to say that I have the power to do even just a little bit in the stock market is pretty safe. Same thing with Elon. Like he just like trashes his own company. He's like, haha, watch it burn.
Right. Yeah, it's wild, man. I mean, the one thing that people were concerned about with Joe Rogan is they were saying a lot of his stuff Spotify wouldn't approve of, but he's clarified on his Instagram post that he made that he's just doing things the exact same way. They're not going to be limited on what they talk about or anything like that because they have some pretty controversial stuff I think that some other platforms might
Yeah.
not like, but I
How many
from what he made
platforms
it
was
sound
he on
like,
before YouTube?
I think he was everywhere, man, other than
Like
Spotify.
everywhere
Yeah.
other than
As
Spotify.
far
Oh,
as I'm
other than Spotify.
Yeah. He was not
Oh,
on Spotify.
interesting.
He said he
Let me
wasn't
just
on
search Joe
Spotify
Rogan.
because they don't pay enough. That's what he had said in the past. Or something to that extent. Something about them not paying enough. Which makes sense. I've heard that from artists and other people too.
Huh. So yeah, I'm just searching Joe Rogan now on Spotify. Today is May 20th, and I can only find like his like just stand up bits.
Yeah, they must have already removed it. That's
So he
crazy.
must have. Yeah, I guess he just put on everything except Spotify.
Yeah. I mean, he was on iTunes, I'm pretty sure, right? He was on all of the podcasting apps. As I had been through a few of them, and he was on all those.
Huh.
So, yeah, man, he must have had a fat deal. A fat deal.
Well, good for him.
Yep.
I'm glad that his podcast is going well. I'm glad to see podcasts
Fuck Joe Rogan. I'm
bringing us.
done listening to Joe Rogan. Fuck Spotify. I only use that for music.
I'm canceling Spotify and Joe Rogan.
Cancelled. Joe Rogan is
Tweeted.
over, party.
Joe Rogan's our party.
How dare you sign a deal for $100 million to move to another platform? How dare you?
come to New
Without
York City to
consulting
celebrate.
me, your biggest fan? Are you kidding me? You're done, Joe Rogan.
See
Joe
ya.
Rogan is over.
Oh wait, the Joe. Oh, sorry. I thought I found the podcast, but it's nothing.
Are his clips up on YouTube still? Did you find any
Uh,
clips?
of his. Oh yes, most definitely. Yeah,
Okay,
they're
so his clips still exist.
definitely on
That's
there.
what I thought. I feel like it'd be a little wild not to be able to put the clips up, because that's
Oh, I
not.
mean, well, when's the contract supposed to go into effect?
I'm not. Well, if you said you couldn't find any of his full length podcast, it's two separate channels.
No, I meant I can't find anything on Joe Rogan on Spotify.
Yeah, I don't think it's went into effect. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it
Yeah.
hasn't gone into effect yet. I don't remember when he said it was going into effect. I probably should have looked that up. I don't remember.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't remember, but yeah, sometime soon, I'm guessing. I'm sure Spotify is eager for him to make his debut and see if it was worth $100 million.
Oh, we'll see if it pays. Yeah.
Again,
I love how we're
speculation.
just like. I love how we're just throwing that number around like we know for
I
a
mean,
fact.
that's what people are passing around, but I'd believe that. That sounds like a good deal for both ends. I mean, it's a lot of money, but you got to understand the reach that Joe Rogan has. And I feel like a lot of his audience, he'd be bringing in a lot of new people to, well, I don't know. But I feel like it's good for Spotify in general. Really good. And I think they're trying to grow
Yeah.
their podcasting in general. So,
As long as they didn't pay him too much, they'll never
Yeah.
get their investment back. But
right, yeah.
if they're making €6 billion a year, I'm not feeling too bad.
I think it'll be good for them in the long run.
Yeah.
I just hope that all the smaller artists and podcasters are getting compensated good too, because I don't know the details. I've never been on Spotify. This podcast isn't on. It's probably not going on Spotify, at least anytime soon. But
No.
Maybe we'll get $100 million deal. How sweet would that be?
Dude, I already bought my Lambo.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you got approved already? Like, trust me,
Yeah,
I got a
I signed
podcast.
it.
I got a
Yeah, I just
podcast.
walked in.
We're on YouTube,
Said,
Twitch,
hey boys, look, I got a
Instagram,
podcast. I just
Twitter.
walked into the dealership. Said, I am on a podcast, and I'm like, sir, just pick
Yeah,
whatever
right.
one you
I'll
want.
take the orange one, thank you. So yeah,
Oh, man.
that's Joe Rogan.
So other news. Did you see? I'm sure you have. I can almost guarantee you have. H3H3 smashing Keemstar.
Yeah, he bodied a piece of trash. I
So
really dislike Keemstar.
Yeah, so
I
this is getting into some YouTube drama here, but for people who haven't seen H3H3, well, I should say Ethan Klein because he was the only one that was in the video. He got called out by a guy named Keemstar who runs a quote unquote news channel on YouTube.
Yeah,
The
best
he
news.
claimed
It's equivalent to Breitbart News.
it's
It's
pretty,
like if
yeah, it's pretty
Breitbart and
polarizing.
TMZ had a baby child.
It's a very polarizing and dramatic news show that he runs, and the guy who runs the news show called out Ethan H3H3 for fraud, essentially.
Yep.
And Ethan responded to that claim, but in addition to that,
before we get
also
into
made
that, the claim he made. So the creators of Payday 2. Well, okay,
Sure.
so H3H3 has been fighting for a few years. They won it by now, but they were fighting a fair use case. Like someone tried them for fair use, and they went to court, and it was really, really expensive. And their whole thing behind it was we need to protect other content creators too with this, so it's a precedent for other people for fair use on YouTube and playing videos and just fair use in general, because that's a pretty big controversy in itself. And so the creators of Payday 2, which is a popular game on Steam and I'm guessing on consoles and stuff too, they made a DLC for H3H3, which is a skin version of them, or something along the lines that had to do with
Yeah.
H3H3, and all of their profits from that DLC went straight to their lawsuit. So their
I think it's actually
lawsuit
all the
was being
revenue.
fought
Yeah.
for, yeah, all of the revenue went to H3H3 to fight this fair use lawsuit, which I think is great that they invested so much of their money into that and they beat it because it's important for smaller creators to be able to have fair use with certain things. So that's and basically what Keemstar said is something along the lines of they had scammed that money or something along those lines. So H3H3 actually talked to the guy that was in charge. He's one of the head guys at Payday 2 or whatever production company created that game, and called him and said, "Hey, do I need to contact the FBI? Like, did I scam you guys?" And he said, "No, that money was all meant for you, and it was good." So he basically shut him down, is what I'm saying.
Right.
That's the
So
backstory behind that.
yeah.
So back to what you were saying.
Yeah. He made like a 45-minute long video just absolutely trashing this guy. Not only addressing the claim that he made of this fraud that this money fraud, um, but also just like trashing him as a person, and got extremely in depth, pulling back things that happened years ago,
Right,
um,
which was
and
completely
just
deserved.
painted him like an absolute fucking demon.
Which he is.
So I'm just trying to give an unbiased view of
I'm very biased. I
this.
do not like Keemstar.
Yeah. So um, that video dropped. What, May 19th, May 18th, maybe a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Um, and it has blown the fuck up. It got like 1 million views within the first day.
Yep.
It's a big channel already, but let me see how many views it has at the
Also,
moment.
along with
It's got
those claims,
2.7.
I just
What
saw
was up
this.
with
It
it?
came out 2 hours. So H3H3, one of Keemstar's really big sponsors, G Fuel, which is a energy drink company that sponsors Keemstar, and they're trying to target gamers and whatnot, has been a sponsor of Keemstar for a very long time, and he's always wearing the G Fuel logos and all that because he's sponsored by them. And in that video that H3H3 made, they called out the sponsorship, like, why are you sponsoring this guy? And I just saw an article on Business Insider from 2 hours ago that the energy drink company G Fuel no longer sponsors internet drama reporter Keemstar. So H3 ended his sponsorship, as far as I
He
can see off
got
of
him.
this Business
He
Insider.
got him canceled.
No one's been able to cancel Keemstar this far, and people were saying if you can at least get his sponsorship fucked, then that'll be a win. And that's exactly what happened, according to Business Insider, is that sponsorship ended. And Keemstar is gonna be pissed. He already
Oh, I'm
said
sure he's
today,
triggered. Yeah.
5:20 today, he's gonna make a two-part reaction or response to Ethan of H3, which made the video. And so that's coming out today. It might already be out. I haven't even checked. But I'm
I don't know. I don't
sure
follow
this
him.
just got even more real because his sponsorships ended. He just lost a bunch of money. I'm sure he is pissed.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna start talking like everyone's caught up at this point. I'm in the spectrum of fuck you, Ethan, and fuck you, Keemstar. I'm definitely on the side of fuck you, Keemstar. But I have some criticism of Ethan and the way he handled this. Um, First of all, I think everything that he pointed out in the video, um, I mean, it was vilified, but I think it honestly deserved to be because Keemstar is just, in my opinion, not the greatest human being, and
He's definitely done some
it's
stuff
just
that should.
yeah, some of his previous actions are just not justified whatsoever, and honestly, from what Ethan showed, it looks like Keemstar might just have big personality problems. I don't want to say mental health issues, but he's not
I would
an
argue and
empathetic
say
person
that
at
what
all.
he does is just for clicks and money. That's what I would argue. In I guess I could say in his
Sure.
defense, I don't think that there's anything. I think he's a shitty person, but I think that he does it
Yeah.
purely because of the fact that he wants money and he wants clicks, and he tries to get these people on his show and rile them up, and that way, because obvious, it's not going to stop people. Even if you hate Keemstar, if he does an interview that is with somebody that hates him, you're going to want to watch it You're gonna want to watch it happen, and in that, you're gonna give it money. You're gonna
Yeah.
help him. You're gonna give him views. You're gonna want to see more, and that's just how it works. And I think he knows that. So
I
some of the points I'm gonna try to be non-objective in these. Um, Ethan Klein of H3, which made the video, he brought up a couple of different points. One of the more controversial ones was with the YouTuber Etika, who committed suicide a while back. And he brought up that Keemstar was a large part of when that whole. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, Coulter. Are you familiar with Etika?
just from what I saw in the video
Yeah. So Etika, it seemed like he definitely had some sort of mental problems going on. He committed suicide,
that he had
and
bipolar
right,
disorder, right?
bipolar, I believe. Yeah. And Etika was on social media, and it seemed like he was just kind of going losing it a little bit. To say, I'm not trying to be mean here, but some of the stuff he was saying in on Instagram Live, and it seemed like he wasn't all there. He was
Hmm.
suffering from some sort of episode. But anyways, he went to a mental hospital. He came out, and Keemstar immediately tried getting him on the show, and he did. And it was some crazy video where Etika was just going off on Keemstar and like cussing him out and going nuts. And Keemstar tweeted stuff out about it, and it didn't seem like a very good way to handle the situation with someone who just got out of a mental institution, was obviously unstable. And in the past, he's also tweeted out some controversial things about mental illness and how it's fake and that medical companies are just making up illnesses to get money out of you for buying pills
Yeah.
and all this kind of stuff. So he's an unpopular figure in the mental health community, I guess you could say. Um,
Yeah, I mean,
to be fair, in his defense, his mom and his sister have both, or not his sister, I'm sorry, his ex girlfriend, have both tweeted out in support of Keemstar, saying that Keemstar wasn't responsible for Etika's death. That's not what I'm implying. I'm not saying Keemstar is the one that did it or pushed him to do it. I don't think he handled it well, but his Etika's mom and ex girlfriend have tweeted out saying that Keemstar wasn't responsible. Etika was responsible for doing it to himself. So his parents, or his mom, and his ex-girlfriend are in defense of Keemstar right now. I still don't think
sure.
he handled it well. I'm not saying that he forced him to do it, but just in his defense, I don't think that he's responsible for Etika committing suicide or he pushed him to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe, but
I
we
mean,
we don't know that. There's probably more stuff behind it. Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of other stuff that has came out that Keemstar and him were friends and stuff. I don't know if I necessarily believe that, but I'm sure there's more behind the scenes. I don't think Keemstar is completely responsible 100% for Etika being pushed over the edge.
yeah, I really don't give a fuck what the girlfriend says or the mom says, and I really don't give a fuck about if we assign his suicide to one person or another. I really don't give a fuck about that. Um, what I can say is, if you want the internet to be, or YouTube specifically, to be a better place in general, like just overall, um, the YouTube without Keemstar is a better version.
I would agree with
Just
that.
like period. Like I'm just
Yeah,
gonna like that's just a fact in my
yeah,
opinion. A fact in my opinion. Yeah,
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
oxymoron. But um, Keemstar, it his actions are just trash.
That kind of stuff can be entertaining to some sort of people, but I think that when you take that to the level of someone who just got out of a mental institution and you're bringing up all these really controversial things that could really hurt people, it's not fun anymore. It's not like you're just an internet troll at that point. Like you're really hurting
Yeah,
people. You know what I mean?
I mean
And on
I
top of that, just the way he handles situations and he comes out and he makes these allegations that are sometimes not true. I'm sure a lot of the times not true, or overstretched and make people look really bad, doxing people. He said that he's doxed people. That's awful, awful, awful. He
yeah
can't. In the
I
video,
think
you can see him saying he's doxed people. We need to get this guy's address. Yeah, like that's
yeah
insane. That's wild. How would you allow that on your platform? That is so illegal, and it could hurt
yeah
some
he's
people. Have died from doxing. He had the guy. I don't remember the guy. Someone got doxed by some internet guy who has a Twitter handle and all this stuff, and the guy that got doxed died because of this doxing. He,
Yeah.
the doxer called and made up this story and made him sound dangerous, and he ended up dying from the police because of the situation. And the day after, Keemstar had this doxer on his show and was talking to him about it. That you don't give a platform to someone who was a hand in a murder. That's insane. You know?
Yeah, I agree. I think what Ethan did, like his video portrays it better than I ever could, and I think it's also for anyone that watches the video, I think it's obvious to see how shitty that Keemstar has behaved.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm not really going to speak to it because I think anyone who watches it, it should be obvious, like your opinion that should be formed of this guy. What I think is not so obvious, however, is the problems that H3H3 came about in making the video. So it's not always just black and white where Keemstar's a piece of shit and Ethan called him out for it. Ethan's a hero. There's things that, in my opinion, Ethan also did wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
I agree.
so
No one's perfect.
one that might not be as obvious. Maybe if you're totally team Keemstar, you might think this is obvious, but I have a feeling that much more people are going to be on Team Ethan. Um, so if I was going to criticize Ethan, I would definitely say like why if you don't want to be involved. So he has repeatedly said that like there's a lot of cancel culture going on and there's a lot of drama going on, and I'm not sure if he wants to stay out of it specifically, but what he's doing is not helping this at all.
Yeah.
Like making a 45-minute fucking video, just absolutely roasting the fuck out of somebody, is definitely not the way to stay out of drama, and definitely not the way to handle shitty assholes on the internet, in
I
my
see that.
opinion.
I see that.
Um, I mean, you're literally just doing what essentially Keemstars are doing, right? Like you have this responsibility of millions of people watching you, and you pitting him like a villain. What do you think all those people are gonna do? They're gonna go straight over to his channel and shit on him. Sure, Ethan might be doing it in a more honorable way because he's not providing his fucking address or his wife's phone number. That's just horrible. But it's the same kind of concept when there's millions of people going on the offensive. Shit's gonna get bad for him. And you're essentially just doing what the other guy did to all of these other people.
Yep.
Like, sure,
But
like his sponsorship got
to
canceled.
be fair, yeah, I mean this did punish him a little bit. He got his sponsorship taken away. I mean, no one's been able to cancel him in the past, and I'm not saying he's going to be canceled, but something did happen. He's going to have repercussions from this. It's going to hurt him. He already got his sponsorship. I'm not saying he needs it. He's probably a very rich man right now. But also, H3 has been, in his video, he mentioned that, he's been dealing with Keemstar and so much of this harassment by him and his fans and all these lies that he's been saying and trying to target them. I agree with you. It's, you're drawing attention. In a way, you're helping him out because everyone's probably guilty of going over to Keemstar and seeing what he's tweeting and seeing if his response is up. Everyone's going to watch his
Yeah,
response after this.
yeah,
But I think to an extent, I think it's okay to an after a certain amount of time of being harassed like Ethan was, I think it might be appropriate to make a video like that. It might not be the best way to handle it, but
sure. Like, yeah, he got called out for fraud. Like, what are the possible ways he could have gone on about it? Right? He could have said to himself, "Huh, I'm not a criminal. I didn't commit fraud. I don't have to worry about anything," and then go on making funny mukbang videos
mhm,
and getting views that way.
which is
Option
gross, by the
two,
way. Those are disgusting.
right? Like he just go back to his classic funny videos that everyone loves him for, and continue his podcast. The second option is um, either make yourself public about the fraud case and say like, hey, like this isn't true. Like maybe tweet about it, or maybe make a video, a
Maybe
small
just
video, like a
showcase
small video.
the video clip of you talking to the guy who's in charge of that, saying you're fine, you
Right.
didn't commit
Something
fraud.
small. Be like, hey guys, like no worries, it's all cool. This guy's lying. It's just not true. Or the third option, go on full on offensive and just absolutely roast the fuck out of him. And I think he definitely chose the worst out of the three.
Well, yeah, but I think when your entire personality and your character and your job is on the internet showing people videos I think it is a more appropriate way. not more appropriate, but you can see where it's coming from, right?
Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean, I understand what you're saying, but I think to an extent, Keemstar goes and goes and goes and goes, and he targets people and he creates this drama. So to an extent, even if you come out and you say, "Hey, these are the facts. This didn't happen," that's one way to handle it. But another way would be to make these videos and show your viewers in your own artistic way, because you are a YouTuber, how to do it. Because even if you post on Twitter, "Hey, here are the facts," everyone's still going to go to Keemstar and see if he responds to it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But
I mean,
I think the video will still give him more support. But I see both sides, is what I'm saying.
that's the kind of shit that you have to deal with when you're that
Yeah.
popular, because any possible side there is to take, someone's gonna take it and someone's gonna destroy you for it.
Yep.
Um, but I just really hope that Ethan's ready for blowback on this, because when you start drama, not that he started it, like this is his response, but he definitely went way overboard in his response. I hope that he's ready for. He had to have expected some sort of blowback, right?
He
Like
knows.
he
He
didn't
knows.
like craft.
He made the title content nuke, which I think, in my opinion, is a play on words of content cop, which is from
Hmm.
iDubbbz, which is kind of the same thing as what Ethan did.
It's the
It's
exact
the
same thing,
exact
yeah.
same thing, yeah. Which I think is pretty clever actually. And I think the video was really well made. Regardless of
Oh
if you
yeah, like
support
production
Keemstar or
quality
H3
and
but it was a really well made
it's a,
video.
yeah, it's a good video. Um,
I mean, even a lot of people are coming out now and, going to Keemstar and saying fuck you and all that. It's drawn a lot of attention. A lot of
yeah.
attention.
Do you think that him posting this video, like in the reality that we're seeing now, has done more good or more bad in the grand scheme of the universe?
I don't like Keemstar. I don't want him to have a platform, and he just lost his sponsorship. So at the very least, I think it did some good. Which, by the way,
Okay, that's
he
fair.
has a lot of money. Okay, I'm not saying this guy should go out and lose all of his money, not be able to support his family. Like I said, I think he does it for views and attention, and in return, money. I think he's plenty good with the money he has. I don't think a big company like G Fuel should be sponsoring someone like that.
How
So I
big is
think it's
G
good.
Fuel? Let me do a quick Google search. G
I mean,
Fuel.
it's not massive, it's not huge, but it's just, it gives Keemstar a platform, right?
Yes. Yeah. It so let's see. Oh, it's apparently it's one of the fastest growing private companies in America. It was named in the Inc. 5000. Huh. Revenue growth between 3 years was 214%. So okay, so they're growing fast, but doesn't say anything about the revenue numbers. Yeah, they're not. They can't be like giant. They're not Gatorade level.
No, but I'm just saying I don't think anyone should be giving someone support when you do that kind of thing, like Keemstar does. So I don't know. I guess in my opinion, I think it's good. So far the video is good, and I think it's obviously drawn negative attention to Keemstar, which I think is well deserved. So I think it's done good. By the time you hear this,
Fair.
it's Keemstar has probably already dropped his response, and I know all of you guys are gonna go
I
watch
don't
it,
know. It's only been
including me.
like he uploaded this yesterday, the day before.
Yeah,
Do you think
but
he's
he
gonna make a
said
video?
today is the 20th of, was it May? Yeah, May
Today's, yeah.
20th. He said today he's dropping it's gonna be a two-part response, and he's dropping the first one today, May 20th. That's what he tweeted out yesterday, so it might already be up.
Oh.
Um, another funny thing in this situation that I need to find the tweet, but Keemstar replied to Ethan after this video. They've been going back and forth
Oh
on
wait,
Twitter.
apparently it says new video is live as of 5 hours ago. Let me just Google or YouTube Keemstar.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably up. We won't watch that on stream. Maybe
Oh
we'll
yeah,
talk
he
about that
uploaded so
next week or something.
on his YouTube account
Yeah,
Drama Alert, which has 5.5 million subscribers. Holy
yeah.
shit.
He
5 hours ago he uploaded a reply, 15 minutes long.
Okay, we'll have to
Huh.
watch that later. But
Oh yeah.
anyways, on this situation, something that I thought was pretty funny, Ethan tweeted out something along the lines of, he retweeted what Keemstar said, and I'll get into that. So he said this is the extent of the research Keemstar has done, and Keemstar responded to a fake account. Some guy just has the same picture
Oh
of
yeah, I
Ethan,
saw that.
and
That
he
was pretty
tweeted,
pitiful.
"Papa bless, he's a clown." The fake account said that, and Keemstar said, "Trust me, you're not gonna like it, Snake." And then the real Ethan responded and said, "Me or the fake account you responded to? Please clarify." So Keemstar just totally thought it was the real Ethan said
Yeah,
that.
I saw that, and
Man, that's
that's
funny.
pretty sad. Yeah, I don't know if it speaks to his character, but it's just kind of like,
So
come on.
we'll have to watch the response video and see what happens.
Yeah, I guess next week. Who knows? Next week,
I
maybe it
can't
won't even
believe
be
he
relevant
lost his
next week.
sponsorship. That's an
You can't believe that?
Keemstar.
Oh, I can. I could totally believe that. Like
Keemstar has
Ethan
got to
threw.
be pissed. Pissed, pissed. Someone just took a paycheck from you, man.
Wait,
He's
actually, in his new video,
pissed.
does he have G Fuel just like sitting out?
I mean, he probably started making the video yesterday, so he
Ooh,
might.
maybe maybe he, like blurred it out. Let me see. Oh no, it's right there. G Fuel. Well, I mean, it's kind of turned sideways, so the L is in there, but it's totally G Fuel.
My guess is the next response video isn't going to have any G Fuel products in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume.
Going to assume, make the assumption.
um, no, on. I mean, even in the description it says use code Keem gfuel.com. Wait, let me go to the site and
This
see if
this
I can just
Business
type in.
Insider article about him losing his sponsorship was only 2 hours ago. So I'm
Oh,
sure that it's probably going to take a little while to remove G Fuel from all your stuff.
can you imagine being the president of G Fuel and then like your assistant's like, "Sir, you're gonna need to see this."
You know what? Shame on
like,
G
like,
Fuel though. They had to have known about all this stuff before, but now that it's blowing up in
surely,
everyone's faces, now they're taking it down. Shame on them,
yeah.
right? They knew all this stuff was happening. They knew
Are
drama
you trying
alert
to cancel
existed.
G Fuel?
Yeah, I'm sure Keemstar when he made those videos, when Keemstar made all those controversial videos, and he's had a lot, I'm sure G Fuel knew about it. I'm sure they were trending on Twitter still, but not as much traction as this had. And now that this has this much traction, now they cancel it. So fucking shame on G Fuel. Shame on them.
Yeah, I mean, there's
With that being said, I'm sure that
copious amounts of evidence.
there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that goes into Keemstar's content cop and all that stuff where, maybe even with Etika and stuff that we didn't know about. I'm not saying that all of it you should take for a fact. I'm sure there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff to spice it up and give it more content, I'm sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like I said, I think Keemstar does the things that he does to get clicks and money. I really don't think that I wouldn't say he's not a bad person. I think he is a bad person, but I think he does the things he does not because he's just core evil, but because he
Yeah.
just wants money, which is bad, but
Does
that's
this
that.
sort of lead into this Deergate thing you're talking about?
Deergate. Yeah. So
Deergate. So I have no idea what is this? What's going on
so
here?
Twitch created a council. Let me actually look up the name for you.
Council?
Yeah, it's a council made up of
Like an institution?
no, like it's a council made up of content creators. It's a council. What's the fucking council name? I can't even. I'm a bad host. I didn't pull up the name of it. It's something along the
It's
lines of
okay.
trying to be the voice for people on Twitch and prevent like hate and like a safety council, I guess you could say. I don't know what the exact name is. I'm sorry. Oh,
Okay.
it's a safety advisory council. That's what it's called.
Safety Advisory
Now
Council, SAC.
there's a lot of stuff into this. So first of all, there was a clip that is a little bit, I guess, in my opinion, weird that people were kind of making fun of and saying, why is this person on the Twitch Advisory Council? This is really weird. And it's the reason it has the name Deergate, which is the only reason I'm showing it. So before I even play this, I think people should be allowed to be as weird as they want. You'll see the clip and you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But let me show this.
Where do I'll just watch it on stream?
I will share my screen with you.
Okay.
Okay. So this clip right here was the one that people thought this girl is really weird and she's on the council and they just really didn't like it because of how weird it was. Which if people want to do weird stuff like this, then go for it. I think it's pretty weird too. But this is why it's called Deergate, because she's acting like a deer. I guess you just watch the video, you'll know why it's called
Okay.
Deergate.
All right.
And come back to here, maybe. Nice and soft. Round to the back of the head. Maybe down a little bit.
So, which one of these two is on the council?
The one with the reddish hair.
What's nice
Pink
about
hair?
Yeah,
photo
pink hair.
scritches is that they'll sort of give you feedback on your scritches. And they're pretty sensitive to scritches. So scritches in different areas get different reactions.
So
Okay.
she's
Okay, serious question. Is she
this is
acting
before
there?
this happened. Yeah, I mean she's pretending
you
to be
seen-
as far as I can tell, what everyone is telling is she's pretending to be a deer or something. I don't know what's going on, man.
Okay, so she's pretending.
But this whole situation that's called Deergate has the name Deergate because this girl had this clip of acting like a deer that blew up on live stream fails, and I think it's kind of weird,
Yeah.
but people should be able to do
So
whatever
that's
they
just-
want. But they call it Deergate
Yeah.
because she has this clip of her pretending to be a deer. There's another
Uh-huh.
clip where she's also pretending to be a deer. It's a separate clip. So I don't know if she just likes acting like a deer. I really don't know. I'm not trying to make fun of her or anything. I think it's kind of weird.
Sure.
People can do whatever they want. I was just showing that because the name Deergate comes because she has these clips of her acting
she
like
acted.
like a deer,
Okay.
right?
So, but just before I comment on this, is she like she's 100% active there? She's not like mentally handicapped or anything.
No, she's on the Twitch Advisory Council. So this council
That
that
doesn't
I'll
answer
get
my
into
question.
more, but she's on the council. No, she's
That-
not. She doesn't have any mental illnesses or anything like that.
Okay. Just make sure, because I don't want to,
Right.
Okay.
So it's called Deergate. I was showing that. There's a few more clips I'm going to show to give some more backstory on this. It's called Deergate because she
Right.
has these clips of her acting like a deer, right? Okay.
Right. Gotcha.
So we're good there.
Is there another clip?
Yes. So
Oh.
the voice comms argument, she made a comment on Twitter or a clip or something which had something to the effect of there shouldn't be voice comms in competitive games. And her rationale behind that was that it's summed up here in some bullet points on genx.tv. Voice chat is a
Okay.
competitive advantage. Muting someone is a competitive disadvantage. People who are harassed and likely encouraged to mute their harassers. This is the only way to stop the harassment, and leaving the game incurs penalties. Therefore, people who are harassed must give up a competitive advantage in order to no longer subject themselves to abuse. Women and minorities should not be forced to choose between competitive advantage or freedom from harassment. So
Okay.
basically what she's saying is no voice comms in competitive games because
Yeah.
people can be harassed and they shouldn't have to mute people and have a disadvantage over being harassed. So instead, there should be no voice comms, so there's no harassment and everyone's on
Yeah.
the same playing field.
Okay. Can I pick at that argument, or do you have more?
Yeah,
to show
so
me on
let
this
me
topic?
that was the root of her argument that sparked this whole controversy, and she's on this Twitch council which is for safety and I don't know the exact specifics of it, but it's supposed to be for the Twitch community and for gamers and streamers and to everyone be on the same playing field. And they have a lot of minorities in that group and that council,
Uh-huh.
and they're trying to fight for those people, which I think is a good thing. I don't agree with this argument,
Yeah.
but this blew up on live stream fails, and all of the big other Twitch streamers have been reacting to this and trying to counter her argument. And after this tweet happened and live stream fails blew up and all these people were commenting, it just got even bigger. And yeah. So that's how this all started. But
Okay.
that is the core argument.
Let me
that
give my
a lot of
my
people
thoughts on.
seem to not like.
Let me give my opinion on a few things. First, the deer video. Look, you do you, okay? If you have a following that likes that stuff, I don't really give a fuck.
Right.
That doesn't
I'm
bother me at
totally
all.
with you. Yep.
Yeah.
Even
okay.
even if she's on the
Second.
council and people try to say that she has mental disabilities because of that, no, I think it's pretty weird. But if you want to do
But
that, go ahead. That you
I wouldn't
shouldn't.
call that. It's not mental disability.
Right. I
that-
totally
That's
agree.
a lot.
But
That's a
I'm
lot,
saying
yeah, okay.
people in general are saying that
Yeah,
she
gotcha.
has mental disabilities because of that.
Yeah, that's a little
She's
insane.
It's a little weird in my opinion, but that doesn't. You shouldn't be not on the council because you like to role play as a deer, whatever that is. I don't understand.
Okay, so yeah, that's insane. Let's move to this voice chat competitive advantage thing. First of all, the first point,
Agree,
voice chat is a
disagree.
competitive advantage. That is the biggest load of bullshit. Um, if you want a real competitive advantage with voice chat, you need an organized team to all be shouting out like rehearsed call out.
Right.
Like if I just go into a random ass lobby and hop into voice chat, I'm gonna get some kid telling me to suck his balls. In all reality, there is a much higher chance of that happening
Right.
than someone laying out a fucking game plan
Right.
and saying, all right, you're gonna go here, you're gonna go there, and then calling out live action plays. No, that doesn't happen. Um, and
Let me say something on this. I think that I don't agree with her argument. I can see where she's coming from, but I think her argument shouldn't be about people being harassed and that's the advantage. I think if you want to make this argument, say that not everyone has a microphone or headphones. So
uh,
with that being said, you shouldn't have voice comms because not everyone has a microphone. And that would be an unfair advantage. But to say that it's just because you have a potential to be harassed, I think is a dumb argument. I think if you really wanted to make the argument, which again, I don't agree with either one of these, but you should say not everyone has headphones or not everyone has mic or not everyone has 7.1 surround sound. So you're not going to be able to tell which direction people are coming from. So, oh, you
mm,
should ban 7.1 surround sound in competitive games because not everyone has headphones that can support that. You
right,
don't know where they're going to be coming
yeah,
from. But to say that you might be harassed and you're probably going to mute them if you're being harassed and that's the unfair advantage, that's just dumb, right?
that's just a bad argument. Yeah, like yeah, like what I was saying. Like voice chat is not a competitive advantage. Therefore, muting one person on your team because of harassment is not putting you at a competitive disadvantage.
Well,
Um,
I think a
because
better way to
if
word
you're being
that,
harassed, if you're being harassed in the first place, how is that a competitive advantage?
yeah, I don't know.
You know what I
I
mean? Like
I
your voice chat is on, but they're roasting you.
yeah.
Oh wow, I'm glad I have this competitive advantage.
I think the more broad term to say is if you have trolls on your team, you're at a competitive disadvantage. Have you ever been on? Well, you don't play Counter Strike. I guess in Valorant we may have had
No,
it where you have just trolls that just they don't buy guns, they just
won't
run
shut the fuck
around,
up.
they troll you. That you're at a
Or leave
competitive
game, yeah,
disadvantage because if the other team doesn't have any trolls, you're at a disadvantage.
yeah.
But you
That's
shouldn't just
actual like gameplay. Yeah,
right, yeah. But to say that because you might have to mute a troll if they're being obnoxious that we should ban it. Sure, you might be at a disadvantage. That happens. There are trolls in video games. You should ban trolls. You shouldn't take away voice chat. That's insane.
yeah. That's okay. Well, what's the next point? People are likely to mute their harassers. There's also a limit to stop harassment, leaving the game incurs penalties. Okay, so you mute the guy. Therefore, people who are harassed must give up a competitive advantage in order to no longer subject themselves to abuse. Okay, again, if you're being abused, there's no competitive advantage in abuse. Like that's just not true.
I think she's saying
Um,
for the other team maybe if I'm trying to play devil's advocate.
no, okay, yeah. So she's saying in two worlds where there's two teams, if one team has no voice chat and the other has voice chat, the team with voice chat somehow has a competitive advantage. But if you go like if you're actually on the team with voice chat and it's just a bunch of 12-year-olds, just abusing you, in reality, there's actually no competitive advantage,
Yep.
even though from the higher third party might see it as a competitive advantage. It's just not true. Um, there's no competitive advantage in the first place. So if you're muting people, you're probably giving yourself more of an advantage
Right.
because now you don't have this annoying fly in your ear that you have to deal with. You
Yeah.
can like focus on the game. So this is just a bad argument all the way. All the
I
way.
mean, you
I don't
can
know what the
pick it
street down
apart
here
and
is.
give other examples. Okay, this next thing will there's also a clip that'll go into this too, so I'll show that after this. But I think that I to an extent it took me a while to see it, but I kind of understand where she's coming from. I It's an awful argument though, because you could say, "Oh, not everyone has mechanical keyboards." And mechanical keyboards are an
Yeah,
advantage, so we
exactly.
should ban mechanical keyboards on the market.
Right.
Oh, not everyone has a computer monitor. Some people use TV monitors, so we should ban monitors and make people only use TVs as monitors, right? Like it's indefinite in how many ways you could pick this apart.
Yeah. Like any this guy is playing on McDonald's Wi-Fi, and this guy's playing on
If you
Jeff
go out,
Bezos Wi-Fi.
we should ban talking to people when you leave your house, because if you go outside, you might run into a drunk guy that's really mean to you. So if you're
Yeah.
out of your house, you shouldn't be able to talk to anybody, right? Like there's so many different ways you can interpret this and say,
Yeah.
okay, let's take it this way, let's take it this way. It just doesn't make any sense. That is the worst solution to. Her core argument is internet trolls. The way to stop internet trolls isn't to ban
I don't know why
voice chat.
I don't know why she's deflecting it to competitive advantage in the first place.
That is the most insane.
banning-
Yeah, that would be
Like,
like if you have, we have coronavirus, we should just kill off everyone over 70. Right?
Right,
It's just
yeah,
like
no
taking
more.
it to an
Just kill off-
extreme that doesn't
or
need to happen.
better yet, just kill off everyone with the virus.
Right? Yeah, everyone. If you have it, you're gone. Burn the bodies, you're gone.
Yeah.
Like, it's just such an
so-
insane solution to a small problem.
Okay, is there anything else to this Deergate? I think we kind of beat this horse.
Yeah. So that was the argument, I guess. So I can see where
Quote,
she's coming
unquote.
from, but I think we've said how we feel and why it's not really the greatest solution.
Yeah.
So
Also, if you're going to argue about toxicity, don't argue about competitive advantage. Don't deflect to that. Just
Right.
argue.
So
Whatever.
that
Anyways,
was the
next.
core argument. So there's a bunch of stuff after this because it blew up. So
Holy hell, there's a lot of links.
yeah, so everyone was pissed at her. So this was the tweet that was on that other page. She said,
Okay.
so now she's saying that, oh yeah, a whole lot of cis white male voices thinking voice chat is critical to competitive games being competitive. Tell me more about how we'll solve systematic misogyny and everything will be fine, lol. And before we get into that, there is a clip of her saying something similar. Can you hear this?
I
Yes.
said a lot of people with cis white male sounding voices are here telling me that voice chat isn't a problem, and that is a fact. Y'all have voices that aren't marginalized coming in and saying, just mute. It's not an issue. Everyone faces harassment. I've heard it all. You're just repeating my several, like a year ago. I've been through this all.
So, essentially,
Okay.
what she's saying is that she's hearing a lot of cis white males. That's us. Shame on us for being cis white male, by the way. That
Yeah,
we should be
right.
ashamed of ourselves. That we're the ones saying that we should have voice chat, and this is wrong. So because we're cis white males, we don't understand, and it's not going to solve misogyny. We don't get it because we're cis white males. So it's
so this is like a much
we should
bigger
not be able
argument
to
now.
comment. We should not be able to comment on this because we're cis white males, right?
Yeah, this is a much bigger argument now. This goes into racial issues. This goes into abortions with men and
Right.
women. This goes like pretty much anything that just affects
Right.
some like type of person.
Right.
This argument extends to, and I really don't want to get into that argument because that
I think we
leads
can
down
all
1,000
see why
rabbit
it's
holes.
inherently wrong to disclude a group of people, even if they aren't a minority. I think that that's just not okay. Right?
So she's making this argument
Because we're in a larger group, we shouldn't be able to comment. That's insane. It's like you're saying because we're
Yeah.
cis white males, our opinion's invalid. That's insane. That's inherently racist, and you're against other groups of people. It's just not. I don't get it.
right.
It's
Excluding someone from an argument. Well,
it's counterintuitive to your own
and
argument.
let's just frame it to this Twitch voice chat thing. First of all, if you sound like a cis white male, I'm gonna need to know how you know this. I'm gonna need some information because I can't tell if someone's a cis white male just by their voice.
Yeah, and how is
I
she
mean, I might
telling
have a
based
pretty-
off of people typing in her chat, right? She's not
Yeah, like,
getting
I
them
might
on
have a pretty
Discord
good
with her
idea.
to talk. Or maybe she is and I didn't see it, but I feel like she's not inviting people into voice talk with her, right?
Sure. Perhaps.
She's
Again, I
getting
don't know,
these
but
she's getting this stuff based off of comments on Twitter and people in her chat, I'm assuming. She's not having people voice chat with
So,
her, right?
the way that they write
Right. Your
perhaps entails
username.
with their cis
She's
white
very
male.
good at identifying cis white males based off your username. What do you think? You think my handle online, VBubba, does that scream cis white male to you?
It might be a bit Hawaiian. But,
Hawaiian, you think?
Yeah.
Okay. You think she would be able to
Maybe
tell if I was a cis white
maybe
male?
not cis. Maybe a bit of bi thrown in there. That's just what my radar tells me.
Your radar? Okay. Well, I don't know, man.
Well,
This
let me
whole
tell you
thing
what.
is fucked. So, okay. So
Is there
there's
another thing that you
another
want?
clip
Another link? Yeah.
where
I
even
have
more
power.
after
Oh,
this
this is gonna be fun.
was.
So, but I'm hanging in there.
So, okay, to preface this, this is a few days after the voice comms thing came out and everyone was freaking out, and all of these other big Twitch streamers were saying how stupid her argument was, right? And
Okay.
keep in mind, the reason this is blowing up so much is because she's on this Twitch safety council. So, in
Right.
a way,
Right.
she
So
has
that. Yeah.
power, and people are worried that. I mean, I don't think it's ever going to go through. I think most people disagree with this argument. It's not. People aren't going to ban voice comms from games, but she's on a council, so she has some sort of power, and that's why people are freaking out, I think. So now I'll play the clip.
So,
A lot of views.
but I'm hanging in there, and I'm not going anywhere. I have power. They can't take it away from me. And honestly,
Mm.
you know, these there are some people that should be afraid of me, and that they are, because I represent moderation and diversity, and I'm gonna come for hurtful, harmful people. If you're a really shitty person, I'm gonna stand up against you. Period. And Twitch is endorsing me to do that. So
You heard it here first, folks. Twitch is endorsing her to do that. That's exactly why people are scared of this. Like I said, I don't think that voice comms are going to get banned. I don't think that this is going to have the impact
No,
that
of
people
course
think
not.
it does, but I think that just the fact that she's on a council that has some sort of power and she's saying this kind of stuff is not right.
So how many people are on this council?
I believe there's 7 or 8. I can look it up. Twitch
Probably an odd amount to get a majority.
Safety Council. There was a blog post on Twitter. That's not it. It has a list of people on there. This one, I believe. Okay, there's Alex Holmes.
One.
Co-Carnage, which Co-Carnage, I should have pulled up some of his clips. He's made it clear that his approach to stuff is for Twitch to be as disinvolved as possible and just try to keep it fair for everyone. So there are some people on here that I feel like
So they're trying to get a
are
wide
not
diversity.
on the same page, right? Cup of
Okay,
Noodle,
3.
yeah. Emma Lasan. Some of these people,
4?
by
Is
the
that
way,
a person?
yeah.
Wait, is that
yeah.
a person?
Yeah.
Oh, Emma, yeah.
But a lot of these people, there's one of them that is like a professor at some big school, and like this
nice.
person, their director.
Like she's a director, like
Right, yeah. So a lot of these people, this is the
and then there's the deer girl.
right, Deer Girl.
Is that 5?
Samir
Okay, this is
Hinduja.
6. Doctor, okay.
So he's a professor at the
Criminology?
School of Criminology. So
Wow,
there's
this
some
is
interesting people on here, right?
So 6.
T.L.
7.
Taylor, she's also a professor at
Professor
MIT.
at MIT.
And she runs she's director of research for AnyKey, which I looked up before. Dedicated to supporting developing fair and inclusive esports, which I think is great. I think that's great. I think that's good to
Okay,
have that.
yeah.
I'm not saying, I don't think
Sounds good to
anyone's
me.
saying that there shouldn't be some sort of council for being, including minorities and all that. I think all that's great. I just think her approach is bad. Zizarin. Yeah, just another streamer. I don't know who a lot of these people are. I know who
What's 8?
Co-Carnage is. And I
Sure.
know
So
who...
wait, go back to the deer girl. Let me read what her description is. Full-time streamer, playing Heroes of the Storm. Oh, collegiate Heroes of the Storm.
Yep.
She was one of the first transgender streamers. Okay.
Yeah.
Partnered on Twitch and the first to bring a transgender pride flag emote to the platform. Her fight for inclusivity includes creating a competitive team composed entirely of marginalized gamers and vehemently opposing non-inclusive mechanics such as voice chat. Okay, so she's an activist.
Right.
That's why
And
they
I
brought her
think on her page, she has some accomplishments of what she's done too. She created the trans pride flag.
Of her trans pride
4 years
flag.
4 years live streaming, made Femme Ferocity, initiative team for female empowerment in Heroes of the Storm. Again, I think that's great. Created and organized a social justice related campaign against the inclusion of voice chat to Heroes of the Storm, and it was...
Just so you know, there
this
is voice
tweet.
chat in Heroes of the Storm now.
This was her original tweet, by the way, for the whole thing.
Okay.
It's that time again. I have it up on stream. We need to talk about why adding voice chat to your game is anti-inclusivity, how it hurts your marginalized and female player base, especially within competitive play. I'm going to break it down as concisely and clearly as we can. And she
God, this
makes
is pretty long. Let's
loads
just
of
skip this
points. But we
argument.
already went
But
over the points, right? If
yeah,
anyone wants to look at this, her handle is ferociously S, and her name is ferociously Steph. So if anyone wants to look
sure.
at that, I encourage that. She organized a fundraiser event that raised over $28,000 for trans life in October of 2019. Chemistry and biochem graduate and a keynote speaker on
At
moderation.
TwitchCon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they
Also,
brought
a
lot
of
of people, I do to an extent feel a little bit bad for her because she's getting a lot of trolls that are saying that, making fun of the fact that she's trans, which is that's not okay at all.
I mean, classic internet, right? Like,
right. I mean, that's not okay. Yeah. I disagree with her arguments, but a lot of the hate she's getting is really unjustified. People saying she has mental illnesses, all this stuff. That's not really if you want to call her out on her argument, I think that's great. I don't agree with it. I think it's really stupid. But don't go after what she identifies as, or if she's trans, or if she likes to roleplay as a deer. I mean,
yeah.
Don't go after that. Go after her argument.
So, yeah. I mean, this council sounds. No, like I don't know these people, but it sounds like they had some good qualifications, and their whole goal is to make Twitch a safer place. Is that what it is?
It's to include more. Maybe I should let me look up the blog again.
Also, it's getting kind of crazy how many gates we're getting nowadays.
I think it's hilarious. Like, it's called Deergate.
You can just
I think that's
throw
hilarious.
any sort of controversy and throw gate at the end.
So the safety. This is straight
Twitter.
from the Twitch's blog announcing the advisory council. The Safety Advisory Council will inform and guide decisions made at Twitch by contributing their experience, expertise, and belief in Twitch's mission of empowering communities to create together. The council will advise on a number of topics, including drafting new policies and policy updates, developing products and features to improve safety and moderation, promoting healthy streaming and work-life balance habits, protecting the interests of marginalized groups, identifying emerging trends that would impact the Twitch experience. Which I think that's all great.
Huh, okay.
I think that's good. I think it's good to have streamers on board that are a part of your community and deal with it to help you in your decisions on policy and stuff like that. But when you have someone like Ferocious Steph that is saying, I think she's taking it to another level that nobody wants. I don't think that's necessary.
Yeah.
I mean,
just like
what she said was inherently against a group of people when she was talking about cis white males and stuff. It's against her whole what she's talking about, right? Just because we're not a minority doesn't mean we shouldn't have an opinion or shouldn't have a voice, right? I think that marginalized people should definitely have a voice too, but that doesn't mean you should exclude our voice because there's a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's okay.
Yeah. So if we let's just compare this to like the Supreme Court for a second. Well, maybe not as much nowadays, but generally there's a good mix of conservatives and liberals on the Supreme Court.
Right.
And some things pass, some things don't. But and no matter who you are, there's always going to be people on the Supreme Court that you don't like, and there's always going to be people that you do like.
Right.
The idea is that it's diverse enough so that the world doesn't just blow up with just one ideological thinking. No matter how good you think it is or how bad you think it is, there's got to be some diversity to hold still.
No one will ever agree on everything.
Yeah, so even if you just hate this girl's gut, you gotta hope that this council, this order that that the high supreme lords of Twitch are putting together will be competent enough and diverse enough to prevent like one person from just pushing through all their views.
Right.
And so when you have something as extreme as you sound white and cis, I don't want to talk to you. Even if someone on the council does hold that opinion, there's a very small chance it's going to get through.
Right.
So I'm not particularly worried that
I'm not either.
Twitch is going to influence all of the gaming industry and cut off voice chat. Like that's just not going to happen.
Right. I totally agree with that.
So,
But it's definitely fair to criticize her arguments, right? Because it's our
you could
community
totally
too,
criticize her
right?
arguments. Yeah, that's totally fine. And I'm for the record, like I'm essentially on board with you with all the things you said. Um, I just I don't know. Will always be outraged.
I think almost everyone on Twitch wants all groups to be. No one on Twitch is saying, you know what, this group is marginalized and they shouldn't have a voice. They shouldn't make decisions. No one thinks that. To say that is making up an
Yeah,
idea
that's
in your
insane.
head that is, I don't know. It's just insane to say that. It's not. There's no relevance to that. I'm sure that there are internet trolls and there are some just inherent racists and people who do stuff like that. But there's a majority of people, they don't care what color you are. I don't think that it's as big as she's blowing it up to be. I think that internet trolls are internet trolls, right? I don't think that when you get trolled in a Valorant game or a CS:GO or whatever game you're in, they're not looking at your name and your picture and recognizing your voice and saying, "Oh, this person's a minority. I'm going to troll this guy," right? I'm a
Yeah,
cis white male. I've been trolled in plenty of games, right? It's not just marginalized groups that are being trolled.
I bet there are more white cis males that have been trolled on voice chat than any other marginalized group,
Yeah.
simply because there are more white cis males, and
Right.
I'd be willing to bet that those
Yeah.
numbers are true.
I don't want anyone to get trolled. Cis white male, black, white, pink,
Yeah, no,
purple,
I don't.
trans, straight,
Yeah,
bi,
but
gay. I don't. It doesn't matter. If you're gonna get trolled, you're gonna get trolled. Trolls don't care, right? I will say, to an extent, though, I think that if you do use a voice chat as a girl, people do act differently. I've seen it happen. They do act differently,
yeah,
but I think that if people are gonna troll, they're gonna troll no matter what sex you are, or if they could recognize what color you are. I guess I don't know how that would happen, but girls definitely do get treated differently. I don't necessarily think they get trolled more. I think it's probably about the same. I don't know. They do get treated a little differently, but I still think that whole argument is pretty invalid, right?
yeah. I mean, as long as there is voice chat, there will be trolls.
Right. No matter
So
what you are.
if you are diehard, there will not be a single fucking troll in my game. You kind of have to get rid of voice chat. But the consequences to getting a voice chat, I think, way outdo the
Yeah,
benefits that it
right.
brings. Like you could just fucking mute the guy, right?
Yep. And I don't necessarily
that's
think if you mute a troll, you're always at a disadvantage either. Because if
right. Yeah, we picked that
people are
argument
still
apart. That
gonna
seems kind of silly.
people are still gonna make call outs and stuff for the most, unless they're a really shitty troll that's just completely throwing. Even trolls that are flaming you, they still want to win. Most of them do.
But
They're
yeah,
still gonna
let's
make
say
call outs. They're still gonna, even if they're really shitty about it, they're not gonna not every troll is out to also lose the game. A lot of trolls will troll you, but they still want to win, right?
sure.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's I don't know. I think it's just inherently a bad argument. I kind of see where she's coming from, and I do agree that girls do get treated a tiny bit differently when they use their voice.
I'd
I
say more
know
than
we
tiny
have a
bit, but
friend.
yeah.
Yeah. It definitely happens, but I think to get rid, it's just an insane solution for a small problem, right?
Yeah, it's yeah. I think there are better ways than just getting rid of all voice chat.
Yep.
Let's move on to a different type of streaming. Since we seem to be on this, man, we're getting into a lot of drama this week.
Yeah,
but
there was a lot of shit on
this
Twitter,
is
on the
you're welcome to
internets,
like
interwebs.
paperweight drama.
Yeah.
Let's talk
alert.
about
Paperweight
drama.
drama alert.
Jesus Christ, siren starts ringing. Pokimane, she's in the news again. She has apparently showed porn from Pornhub on a live stream on Twitch. There was like the clips obviously been taken down, but there were mirrors that you can still see, and obviously don't pull it up here on our stream. But basically, I think someone like sent her a link, and I guess hid the link somehow, or maybe she didn't realize it, but she clicked it and opened it up on stream, not like on her
Yeah, it
side
was
monitor or
definitely a
anything.
donation or something, because she said, "Oh, didn't
Sure,
we see
like
this already?" And then she pulled it up.
yeah, she like clicked on a link, and then it popped up on her streaming screen in front of her game
Yep.
and right next to her.
Yep.
And it was a big old titty. It was just like a middle of a video of Pornhub,
Right.
and she like
The reaction was
she
priceless.
screamed, yeah, and immediately like dragged it off.
Right.
And then this wave of like fear and anticipation of how chat's gonna respond
Well, it's scary
just
when
like
you're a streamer because
goes
if you
over
play
her
that
face.
stuff, especially when you're that big, you could get banned for that.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like if
Her
Twitch
reaction
rules,
was really funny and the clip was funny, but at the same time, it's still really shitty when that happens to people.
oh
Like
yeah, it's
it's
horrible.
funny, but
And
if people get suspended or whatnot for that kind of stuff, which has happened, that's really
but
shitty.
yeah, I think that's why this is a big deal, because people in the past have pulled up accidental nudity completely on accident
Yeah.
for a fraction of a second and have still gotten like straight up banned for it.
Yep.
Even when there was no mal intense.
Right.
But I think that she's definitely going to get a pass on this one, because of who she is. I would be there. I would bet money, a lot of money, that she's
Yeah.
not going to get banned off Twitch for this.
No.
I
don't think she should. I don't think
but
anyone
it's still
that
kind of
has that
scary.
happen. If you can
Yeah, and I
clearly
think
see that it was a donation or an honest mistake, you could tell it was. There's no way she meant to do that. No one would risk their
no,
careers like that or their
no one,
suspension.
no,
You
there's
get
no way in
suspended for
hell.
2 days, you're literally taking money from people, right?
Yeah, I think because of this, Twitch needs to take a good long look at themselves and say, why the fuck are we banning people for an incident that happened for a fraction of a second
For
on
nip
accident
slips.
that didn't affect anyone? Like, maybe there's a kid watching and they see a titty. Is that really something to ban
Oh
someone for?
no. Oh no.
Like, are you
Yeah, it's
that much of
insane.
a
No,
content
it's
cop?
yeah. Yeah.
That
So
just blows
that
my
kind of
mind that you
stuff is
can
dumb.
regulate it that much.
I'm
Like,
on
it's a
the
fucking
same
streaming service.
I'm on the same page with nip slips too. If that happen. I do think with that though, sometimes they're intentional by streamers. Won't say any names.
There are
But
definitely
there are
people
sometimes
on
people
Twitch
that do. But
that.
there are honest mistakes too that people will get suspended for.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Let's be clear. I'm talking
Come
about
on,
honest
man.
mistakes here. I'm not
Yeah.
talking about girls that click the live button and then are wearing
Yeah.
like a push-up bra
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
titties in your face, and the whole camera frame is just titty. Like
Right.
it cuts off at their neck,
Right.
right? Like, and then that's like over half the screen.
Which I also
I'm not talking about that.
I just think that there's no like people need to have some sort of content. I'm not saying that girls should dress a certain way either, but there are people who dress a certain way for a certain audience that doesn't involve good content is what I'll say.
It's pretty obvious. Yeah, no, you don't. Yeah, you don't have to be discreet
There
about
should
it.
be some
There's
sort of
plenty
content.
of people.
I mean, you just go on live stream fails, you can see people that are clearly out for a certain market on Twitch. Clearly.
And that's like what they're taking advantage of, right? Because like you could be 13 and go on Twitch and
Right.
raise no eyebrows. If you're on 13 making an OnlyFans account, like what are you doing?
Right.
Like then there's cause for eyebrows. Like you don't want your mom to see that, or you don't want your friends
Maybe
to know.
our
But you're like,
maybe our
oh,
s-
mom, I'm just on Twitch.
maybe our safety council will work on that.
Maybe they'll just get rid of the just chatting
That'd be nice.
part.
Oh, then we'd be
We
fucked,
get
right?
fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Now, I think there's some just chatting stuff I'm not a lot of people just will stream themselves watching videos. That's insane to me. But I mean, whatever floats your boat, right? I don't like
I mean,
to watch people
if
watch
there's an
other
audience for
videos.
it and you can make money off of it, that's capitalism, right?
That is
And,
the
like people are
easiest
willing to
content
pay money.
ever. Yeah.
People
To
are willing
just
to make
watch
willing to
YouTube
pay.
videos of people creating forts in the jungle. It's like what?
Although I do like that there's a Rick and Morty tweet line this season. Rick was going off like I see what you watch on YouTube. You boost me nothing, something like that. It's true.
I haven't seen the new season of Rick and Morty.
You haven't?
No, I want to. I just haven't seen it yet.
I
I
don't want
will.
to sound like a
I know
Rick
that
and
I was
Morty
kind of
crazy
wanting.
person, but
I wanted to wait until the full season was released because there was a mid-season break and all that. I just want to watch it all at
Yeah.
once. That's why I'm waiting. I'm a huge
I
fan
just
of
watched
Rick and
5
Morty. I
and
have
then
very high IQ for anyone listening, but
yeah, don't
just wanted to
question our
wait for the
IQ,
full
okay?
season.
We
Yeah.
watch Rick and Morty, but there's I think there's 8 episodes out now out of the So there was like the first 5 in the season, and then there's a big
Right.
old break, and
Yeah,
I
the
think there's
mid-season
3 more.
mid-season breaks are why are those a thing? Is there some justifiable reason why that happens? I hate them. I hate it
Did
so
that happen
much.
in previous?
Just
Did
make
that
it
happen in
another
previous
season.
seasons?
Just make it another season. No, it didn't happen in other seasons.
No.
I just released the whole season. God damn it! I want to watch the whole season. I don't want to wait
Yeah, they
6 months for the next half of the season. Just give me it.
just
Gimme,
call it
gimme,
another
gimme.
season.
I need
Just
it
call
now.
it the next. Just call it the next season. I don't know
Right.
why.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah, that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. Just call it another season. Right?
and like this isn't really a story spoiler or anything. Let me just tell you, there is like no fucking plot to this season,
Yeah.
the current season. So even calling it a season is pretty loose. Like there's no reason why these
Yeah, it's
exact 10
freaking. It'd be like
episodes
if
should
Family
be
Guy
clumped
took a
together.
mid-season break, right? It's like there's no plot there. Just call it another
There's
season, man.
just
If you want to take
why even
more
bother
time
doing it?
so
Just
you
an
have the full
episode.
season, just release it a little later. But put out the whole season. Don't do no mid-season breaks. All right?
Don't do this bullshit. Yeah, come on.
Maybe there is
Stop
some
tugging on my nuts.
justifiable reason that they do it that I don't know about, but it makes me angry either way. So until I get
Yeah.
told differently,
I'm angry.
just-
I don't care
yeah.
I don't care what their logic
I'm
is.
angered.
I'm
Yeah.
angry. Yeah. Well, we
Did you
showed them.
see that Chuck E. Cheese changed their name to Squallies on their delivery app because nobody wanted to order their shitty food under Chuck E. Cheese name?
Have they made any money off of
How
that?
hilarious is that? Well, they've gotten lots of marketing from it. I'll tell you what, the internet blew up when they figured it out. That shit's hilarious.
when they put 2 and 2 together.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Even now that they're quote unquote losing because everyone figured it out, they're still winning because everyone's still looking it up now. That shit's hilarious.
Are people buying? Were people like? Did it just pop out of nowhere, just randomly? Like, oh, new pizza chain that's like all over America.
Well, Pasquale's is one of the names of the little rats or whatever the hell the mascots are, I guess. And I think that
Oh, in the-
Pasquale's is some
in the band.
subsidiary company or some other part of the company.
Sure.
But yeah, they
Is
totally
it the same
just,
pizza? Like
yeah,
the exact same.
it's literally Chuck E. Cheese. But
Jeez.
they named it Pasquale's because nobody. Hey, you know what we should grab for lunch? Let's get some Chuck E. Cheese pizza delivered to
Chuck
us.
E. Cheese pizza.
Yeah, nobody goes to Chuck E. Cheese for their fucking food, right? They go
I've
there
never had
to
an
entertain their kids for a few hours.
in my entire adolescent/adult life. I have not once ever had the urge to go to Chuck E. Cheese and get pizza.
Yeah.
So I guess they're pretty on the head with this marketing. I'm glad I didn't fall for it.
I mean,
Again, I haven't
even
had
with
pizza
marketing
in like
though,
15
now
years.
that people figure it out, no one's gonna order it still, right? Unless it, even though it's like a meme
Well,
and it's a joke,
yeah.
it's not so funny where you're still gonna order their shitty food. It's like, oh, that's
Well,
kind
you're
of funny.
assuming that
but,
like everyone now knows, but
I mean,
I'm sure
everyone
there's
on the
some
internet blew up. That was hilarious.
around the internet that's seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty funny though that they have to resort.
Yeah,
Like
that's
imagine how bad of an
hilarious.
image you created for yourself that you have to rename yourself to
Right,
sell the same
because
shit.
their whole brand is entertaining your fucking shitty kids for a few hours.
You're shitty.
Not for their food,
You're
dude.
shitty annoying kid that throws up on in the play.
Yeah.
pen.
Ugh, that place is
Fuck
disgusting. Oh my god. Gross.
Come at us, Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah. Fuck you, Chuck E. Cheese. You heard it here first.
All right.
Trump is taking
Do you wanna-
hydrochloroquine?
Yeah. Do you want to get
Question
political?
mark? You can get political. This isn't that political.
All right. Well, I have another topic that is very political. But
We're
let's
getting
start.
political.
Let's get a bridge here into the meme verse, from the meme verse into the political realm. A few days ago, Trump said that he has been taking. See if I can pronounce this. Hydroxychloroquine. Chloroquine.
Yeah. Hydroxychloroquine, I think.
Yes,
know.
it's
We're not
a
doctors.
pill apparently used to treat malaria that he thinks will. I mean, him and some other people that told him that will help prevent or kill off the coronavirus.
Yeah, it helps with coronavirus somehow.
Um,
According to them, not the CDC or
yeah, from what I've
WHO.
read, it sounds like a bunch of bullshit. This pill does nothing for COVID. Like I don't think there's any evidence. I haven't like dived deep into this, but to me it just seems like another borderline conspiracy theory.
Well,
And
according
it's been
to
taking it for a
Donald,
week and a half.
according to Trump's
Um,
son, we don't even need pills because this whole thing is fake, and after the elections, it's going to go away. So I
Oh
don't know
God,
why
did
we
he say
even need
that?
it. I don't even need a. Why do we even need a pill if this is all fake?
Did he
right?
say that? Which one of his sons?
I think it was Eric Trump.
Yeah, that makes sense. He's kind of the village idiot.
Yeah, but he said something.
Um,
I'm gonna try to find the exact tweet, but he said something along the lines of this whole coronavirus is gonna disappear after the election.
that's insane.
Yeah.
But what I did see on Twitter, I will float this idea that Trump is also taking Adderall and has been taking Adderall for a while.
That's been going
And
around for a while.
apparently, if you can't take Adderall with like any other drug because it just doesn't mix well.
Yeah.
So taking Adderall and this hydroxychloroquine doesn't mix well. So he's lying about one of the two. Either he's not taking Adderall or he's not taking this new hydroxy cut, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah. Trump
And
is most definitely on Adderall. That
he's
dude's
on. I
wild.
would. I'd be willing to bet he's on something.
He's on something, dude. He is.
He's got to be right.
He's got to be paying his doctor pretty well to get him some good stuff, man. He is out of his mind. Politics aside, that guy's he has so much energy and he's just doing so much stuff, you know?
I mean, yeah, he's been like that for. Well, I mean, pretty much his whole campaign, right?
Yeah.
As far as I can think of.
High octane.
I don't know. I think this whole hydroxychloroquine thing is just another ploy to.
Well, do you think that
inspire confidence?
if he
Oh,
that's
what?
kind of what I think it is too, but do you think if he's taking it, there's been people around him that have gotten the coronavirus. You think he might have it?
Yeah, so that's a different
If he's
thing. So
taking
there's
it,
been a
why would
few-
you? Is it supposed to help you? It was my understanding that it was given to patients who had it, right? I didn't.
Oh.
Is it supposed to fight off the virus? Like
maybe
if
it
you
does.
already
Maybe
have it,
like
or is it?
well, I'd assume like prevention and like
Yeah.
a symptom treatment is
I mean,
sort of the same thing.
If he's tweeting it out like that, I'm assuming that's what he's trying to say. But I haven't heard of anyone taking hydrochloroquine just naturally to try to prevent it in the future. I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, I think.
Given the
yeah,
people
I
who
think
have
it's
it.
essentially snake oil.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a way for him to inspire confidence that he alone can solve this
Pelosi
problem.
called him obese.
And that
That was hilarious.
was funny. That was funny. And then I think she responded about.
And she said something about him being sensitive after
She
he
was
said
yeah,
that.
I
Oh
didn't
my
expect him to
god.
be so sensitive.
That is hilarious, dude. What a snowflake Trump is. What a fucking snowflake, dude. Yeah, so Eric Trump
He's,
claims
oh
this
yeah,
is
let's go on
coming
this
from
Eric Trump thing.
this
That's
is
crazier.
this is coming from Washington Post. Eric Trump claims Saturday that the coronavirus will quote unquote magically vanish after the November election and allow the country to fully reopen. So
Wait, word for word, he said that?
he said no, he quoted magically. I can't find the
Oh.
original quote, but he definitely
okay.
used the word magically, and he said he basically said that after the elections it'll go away. That's what I can't find the exact quote.
What's so
Which is
why
pissing me
the
off.
elections? Is this whole thing just
It's
political?
a
and all
Democratic
in our
hoax, dude. You
brain?
didn't know that? You know what? I think I
Oh,
found a
fuck.
clip of it. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Let's do this.
Watch
I
this.
think I haven't even seen this clip. I think this is the right one.
Go to Planned Parenthood and get an abortion, but you can't go to the public library to vote.
Oh, that's not it.
That's kind of
Listen,
insane.
Biden loves this. Biden can't go out on stage without making some horrible blunder. I mean, even from his basement, he's making awful gaffes every single day. So his campaign's thrilled that he's not going out there. And they think they're taking away Donald Trump's greatest tool, which is being able to go into an arena and fill it with 50,000 people every single time, right? So they will, and you watch, they'll milk it every single day between now and November 3rd. And guess what? After November 3rd, coronavirus will magically all of a sudden go away and disappear, and everybody will be able to reopen. They're trying to deprive him of his greatest asset, which is the fact that the American people love him, the fact that he's relatable, the fact that he can go out there and draw massive crowds. Joe Biden can't get 10 people in a room. My father's getting 50,000 in a room, and they want to do everything they can to stop
Wow.
it. So make no mistake, To a lot of them, Janine, to a lot of them, this is a very cognizant strategy that they're trying to employ. It's no different.
How do you feel about that? Do you
So
think
that's
the
that's
Democrats
pretty
are just inventing this, making it up, or
that's
using it as
pretty
a
far
ploy?
from his dad's stance, because he's straight up saying the coronavirus is a hoax
I think
and
I think
it's
that
just
what
made up
he
by
wants people to
Democrats.
think, or what he was hinting at, is that it's not necessarily a hoax, but that it's not a big deal is what people are making it, and the Democrats will make it less of a big deal once the elections are over. I think that's what he was trying
Which
to
is
say.
which
Which
is
is
calling it
still
like a
insane.
political.
Right.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't think
insane.
he
Like
was
it
I don't
just
think he was
suggests.
saying the virus is fake, like completely fake, but I think he's saying it's not a big deal. They're making it a big deal in order to get an edge on Trump. This is coming
Right.
from
Yeah, like there's tons of
marketwatch.com,
media
by the
coverage
way.
because of it. Um that's insane. I mean, it hurts if you're gonna go about drawing a crowd, that
Right.
hurts Democrats just as much as Republicans. Like, sure,
Right.
Donald Trump has these crazy ego rallies, but Bernie Sanders was drawing just as many people.
Yeah, to say that Joe Biden can't get 10 people, you're out of your mind, dude.
That's
You are
insane.
out of your goddamn
That's just
mind.
wrong.
And I know he
That's
was
just
being
insane, yeah.
sarcastic, but to put it at such an advantage like that, 50,000 to 10 people. He's trying to say Joe Biden doesn't bring. You're out of your mind. You are just
If you
talking
think your dad
straight
is
out of
that
your
much
ass.
better,
Yeah.
that's
Do you
that's
remember
talking straight out of
when
your
it came
ass.
all those times where he would make appearances and there were a bunch of empty seats? That's the real fucking joke here.
Yeah,
Regardless of politics or policies, hate Trump, love Trump, there were times where he had a lot of empty seats in his rallies and wherever he went, or when he went to the football game and got booed, or the baseball game, whatever that was. That's just hilarious to say that
yeah.
Biden's the one not drawing in crowds. You're out of your mind.
So okay,
Just
yeah,
trying to rile people up,
that's
right?
just retarded. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is so. Aside from the crowd drawing thing, how have you seen any tweets recently from Donald Trump claiming it's the Democrats' fault, or the Democrats are pushing this idea that we all need to stay home, or just putting blame on Democrats in general?
Well, I mean, he has something to say about Democrats every day. I don't know if it was anything along those lines. I have a
Yeah,
hard time
because
keeping up because all he
what?
does is tweet all day. There's lots of stuff to sift
Yeah, I
through.
know he tweets like 100 times a day.
Lots of
Kind of hard
shit
to
to
follow.
sift through.
Let me just quickly glimpse and see if I can find
Yeah,
something.
there's
But
probably lots of good stuff on here.
in his video, his son is claiming, well, he's passing the blame onto Democrats, saying, this is their fault, and they're blowing this way out of proportion because they want to attack my father. But
Right.
Donald Trump is saying, this isn't as bad as we thought. We need to reopen, which is very different because one blames Democrats and like creates a scapegoat. Well, I guess they're both sort of
They're both
creating a scapegoat
similar, I
because
think.
Trump's targeting the World Health Organization. But
Yeah, that's
Trump,
what's
Trump
more crazy to me.
Trump's trying to say like this isn't a problem in the first place,
Right.
essentially.
Yeah.
Kind of like we need to reopen. Like this is getting at its like this problem is way worse than what the numbers are actually showing. Like
Yeah,
numbers are
right.
way down, and he's like downplaying the whole thing.
Right.
And his son is making it seem like the Democrats are devils.
Yeah.
Which is just two different tactics to sort of pass the blame and try to come out of this on the other side alive. I guess if you're gonna try to defend yourself, I guess you defend yourself in as many ways as possible and have your
Right.
stupid son go on TV and take a different argument. But I was surprised to see they weren't on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. It's just wild, that whole situation. I think it's just more crazy that he's just trashing on the World Health Organization so much. That's what's weird to me. Right? That's
So
insane.
Trump tweets like many times an hour. Like I'm looking at this like 12 hours ago, 12 hours ago, 12 hours ago, 11
Yeah,
hours ago,
no,
10 hours, 10
seriously.
hours, 10
Yeah.
hours, 10 hours, 10 hours, 10 hours, 9 hours. Like what?
He
That's a lot
waits
of fucking tweets
he waits for
to
Fox
do
and Friends to get on. And
every
he
other
tweets out
hour.
all
Like
the bullshit that he knows they'll say that makes him look real good to his supporters. And then the rest of the day he just waits for Democrats to say or do anything and then criticize it. That's what his schedule consists of. And golfing. Lots of golfing.
yeah, tons of that.
Has he
does that.
been golfing since it started? feel like he has.
I wouldn't put it past him, to be honest.
Yeah, whatever. That's not that important. I'm sure he has. We can all assume he's probably been golfing.
Yeah. Well, he's not. Well, actually, this whole Obamagate that he's been pushing really hard, does that have to do with coronavirus?
I don't
Because, or
think
was that
so.
just
I
like
think
spying on his campaign?
that was just spying on his campaign. Also, he is really pushing this agenda that Michael Flynn was forced to plead guilty and to take all the but
Oh
he was
yeah, that's
actually
just
not. Like, that's just insane. Didn't he even tweet out stuff about how Michael Flynn was not a good guy and like all this other stuff, and now he's saying, "Oh no, he was perfectly fine the whole time. They made
that's
him do
actually
it."
a good idea. Let me search Trump's, or can I search just like
Well, I
his
know
tweets?
he's saying that Michael Flynn is innocent. He's really trying to push that on people.
Yes, but maybe he's like backtracking
And Flynn got out of
because he can use it as a weapon.
he got out of jail, didn't he?
Um, so what I think happened was the trial happened maybe like a year ago or something.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit longer. I can't remember, but he pled guilty
Yep.
for essentially treason, and I think he got sentenced. And then Trump's um the what's the position called? The Bill Barr, like that guy. What's his position?
Attorney General, right?
Yes. Yeah, United States Attorney General. He basically said no. He's like he cleared him of all his guilt. Like so he went back and rewrote what happened.
Like,
So
nah,
he
I
pled
don't
guilty,
really,
and
I
then
don't really
a year
like that.
later,
Yeah. No thanks. I
no,
don't think he
that's
is.
just like the complete opposite of democracy, right?
Right.
Like it doesn't matter. And if you're gonna make the argument that he like unjustly
Well,
pleaded
I think
guilty, or that
just
he
the
was wrong to
fact,
plead guilty,
just the fact that even Trump was going out and saying, I'm pretty confident that he tweeted out when all of it was going on that he didn't really know about Michael Flynn. He thought that he was guilty and all this stuff. He had nothing to do with it.
I'm sure he tried to distance himself. Yeah.
But now he's a great guy, and he was forced to plead guilty, right?
Yeah, if he was forced to plead guilty and then he went back like, oh no, he was forced to plead guilty. He's not actually guilty, even though
Right.
he said he was guilty. This is all big and mishap. I encourage you to
But
go look at the
that's
trial.
unlike Trump, because
It was damning.
it's unlike Trump, because when Trump sees someone who he doesn't think is guilty, he'll say, I don't think they're guilty. Like Roger Stone, the whole time he's been saying he's not guilty, he needs a fair trial, all this stuff. But Michael Flynn, he was definitely saying that he was guilty. And now he's saying he's innocent. That's not like Trump, which is weird to me. Why is this being
What
pushed
did
so
he
hard?
say? Well, I think he can push it hard because he can use it as a weapon against Obama.
Yeah, I think it has to do with Obamagate. So many gates. There's Deergate. There's Obamagate. What other
I know.
gates are
That's what I
there?
was saying. Yeah.
Keemgate. Is that a thing? We're calling it
Gate.
Gate.
Yeah.
A lot of gates.
There's
What's
too
up?
many
What's
gates
up
in
with
this
the
fucking country.
gates? Why does everyone
Yeah.
end it with gate?
Why can't I
when
just
it's-
walk from here to there? Why is there gonna be a fucking gate in the way?
Right. I don't know where that
Fucking
came
gate.
from. What was the first? Wasn't it Pizzagate or something? Was the first gate? I don't fucking know.
Well, the first one was Watergate.
Water. Well, yeah, water. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where it comes from. But
No, there's just a bunch of
Um,
gates.
yeah. So what was the original topic?
Hydrochloroquine. Trump's taking it.
Oh, yeah. He
We
could be
got
taking it, he
way
could not
off
be taking
rails.
it.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
I don't know.
I don't
I
even
mean, he might be
necessarily
taking
believe
it.
that he's taking it. I don't think he is. I think he's just pushing it. Say, look, see, I told you guys.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't really
taking
give
it
a
too."
fuck if he's taking it or not. I think it's just him trying to
Forget
for
hydrochloroquine,
like,
dude. He's definitely on Adderall or something.
yeah, maybe hydrochloroquine is code for cocaine.
Right. I got
He's
a
like,
lot of
actually,
hydrochloroquine,
guys, I
boys.
got a lot. That's why he's in Florida so much.
Yeah.
It's up that hydroxycut dealer.
He's got the best doctors in the industry giving
best.
him loads of hydrochloroquine. Am I right?
Okay, so let's pivot since we're on politics. Let's pivot to Israel. I don't know if you've seen this, but
I heard something about the
today I
prime
saw this.
minister got charged with fraud or something, I think.
Yeah, so Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, is
Charged
going to
with
trial.
corruption.
Yeah, he's going to trial. So the charges are apparently bribery, fraud, and breach of trust. Um, I think there's two cases against him. One of them was he funneled around $500 million in the Israel currency of shekels, I think, to a telecom company, to like a just TV communications, I think, to essentially say good things about him. And on that count, it's going for bribery, fraud, breach of trust. And then there's another case where he is bribing another newspaper to talk good about him again.
Shocking.
And then there's some other people that are involved in it too, but they're not being tried. But essentially, he's paying money for him to look good in the media.
Yeah. I can't think of another leader who would do that.
Right, right. But the funniest part is his response. And according to Reuters, it says Netanyahu says he is a victim of a politically orchestrated witch hunt by the media
You've got to
and
be
the
kidding
left
me.
to oust him from office. Is that the most
You
ironic
have
thing?
got to be kidding me. Trump has got to
Holy
tweet
shit.
out in support of this guy soon, right? He's got to come
He's
out.
got to. No, Trump loves the Jews. He is super Jewy. But I mean,
Jewy.
if he gives the exact same excuse that Trump has been saying for years, I can
That's
almost.
hilarious.
And he moved the goddamn, what's the name of it? To Palestine. Like the U.S. soil in other countries to act as foreign service embassy. God, jeez. They moved the embassy to Palestine, which is super political, but totally in favor of Israel. Anyways, Trump's been tugging the nuts of Israel for a long time now.
I'm sure he's been licking his ass a lot,
yeah.
especially after he called it a witch hunt. Trump got fucking
Yeah.
rock hard, dude.
But let me give a bit of background about this guy. You might know it, but for people that
probably
don't know, let me illuminate you to what Netanyahu's done. I'll keep it sort of unbiased at first, and then I will give my opinion. But ever since the time, it's been years now since Obama has been in office. Netanyahu has always been in favor of like no Palestine. Essentially, like Israel's versus Palestine's, he doesn't like them at all. And according to the lines that have been drawn, actually, can you look up modern day Israel and Palestine border lines?
Yeah. What exactly am I looking up? The actual border lines?
Yes. Okay, so actually, let me just throw this picture in chat to give to you. It kind of plays into what I'm gonna talk about next, but let's see. I'll wait for you to pull it up.
Can't really find anything.
No, there's a picture in Discord chat that I sent to you. Just show that picture.
Okay.
Back in 1947, new lines were drawn after Britain gave up their power over this portion of land, and so they redrew these lines to have Palestine and Israel. And then there was a bunch of conflict afterwards. There was like a couple days war where Israel took back some of the land, and then there was the Norwegian talks with Bill Clinton to redraw the lines to essentially what they were in 1947, how they originally been drawn. But in the third picture, if we're going from left to right, you could see like a big clump of Palestine, and then there's sort of like this strip on the left side near the ocean, the Gaza Strip. This has sort of been the idea of a two-state solution. So if Palestine and Israel are going to live harmoniously. There needs to be two separate states, one Israel and one Palestine. Netanyahu doesn't like this, and he wants a one-state solution, and it's just Israel. And instead of going to war, what he has done is slowly taken over land in the big clump of Palestine
No, you can see it slowly going away.
that you see. Yeah, so you can see it slowly going away. And what that is Jewish people from Israel going into Palestine and setting up camps, like small cities, essentially. And they're moving in, and there's all this legal action to justify it, but it's essentially an invasion of their citizens. And so they go in and set in all these camps, and the goal of it is to make a two-state solution extremely difficult, because if you're to advocate for two-state solution with the lines that were drawn in 1947, it's really, really hard to make the argument, because now there are so many Israel people in this Palestine-drawn land. So it's like, well, if you want a two-state solution, all these Jews have been living here for years now. You can't just take them away from their home.
Yeah.
So Netanyahu's making it extremely difficult to have any peace talks go on.
Yeah.
And Obama, it's no secret that Obama's not a fan of this guy, and it's pretty obvious that I'm not a fan of this guy either. But he's one of the main problems in the Israel-Palestine conflict.
Yeah.
The fact that he has to pay TV and newspapers to make him look good says a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that something is at least bringing more attention to it, because the U.S. is such a big ally of Israel.
Yeah.
And especially with this administration, they overlook so much to do with it. And I think the general public just maybe isn't as informed as they should be as to what Netanyahu's actually doing.
Yeah.
So this might bring more. This might shine more light on him to be shaded more as a dictator, more in the category of Putin, and more in the category of the Chinese dictator. I forget the name off the top of my head. Or maybe even like the Egyptian dictator, but like paint him in a bad light that I think he deserves to be painted in.
Right.
So I'm really glad that this has come up. I just saw this today. And I think it might actually be pretty damning. Although he might just buy the jury.
Right. Yeah.
But
we'll see.
Yeah, I hope the Israeli people can see. I mean, of course, if you're Israel, you probably hate the Palestinians because they bomb the fuck out of you, and that's a whole different argument. But what this prime minister is doing is certainly not helping. Anyways, that's my take.
What's this about a former WWE wrestler's body found at Venice Beach?
Oh yeah. So let's just switch topics here. Apparently on Venice Beach there was a body found. Just kind of just dumped there. This is a article at NBC Los Angeles. It's just a body. It just appeared in the waters. And apparently it was a former WWE wrestler.
Well, it says here his name was Shad Gaspard, disappeared Sunday in the waters off Venice Beach after urging lifeguards to first rescue his 10-year-old son from the powerful surf. Is Venice open right now? Yeah, it says that at the very top. It says Shad Gaspard disappeared Sunday in the waters off Venice Beach after urging lifeguards to first rescue his 10-year-old son from the powerful surf.
Oh, I see. Jogger found the body. Yeah, law enforcement said
It disappeared Sunday. Was Venice open on Sunday? Were there lifeguards there?
I don't know. Let me look that up.
Said a jogger found the body washed up near Venice Pier around 1:30 a.m. Wednesday. Los Angeles police and county firefighters said they responded to a report of a body that matched the description of Gaspard.
I'm gonna go on a limb here and say that it wasn't open, and that he might have just gone on late at night just to be on the beach.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming him for going. Like I'm sure there's tons of
No,
people that
but
do
if
it.
you
And
get in the water with your son when there's no lifeguards, if there was
yeah,
any
but see,
lifeguards,
that's the thing. Yeah, if there's no lifeguards there, you
I
might
mean
think
that's
twice.
not too smart. I don't know if there was lifeguards or not though, because it says I don't understand the chain of events that happened because it said he disappeared Sunday after urging lifeguards to first rescue his 10-year-old son from the surf. I don't understand the series
Did
of
his son
events that
die? No, I
unfolded.
think his son's. So I think what happened was like they're in the water, or this is how it played out in my mind. They're in the water. Son starts drowning. He gets scared. Tries to convince the lifeguard. Maybe the lifeguard wasn't effective. There was no lifeguard, or they refused, or something. He said, "Fuck it." He went into the water to try to rescue his kid. The kid was fine, but he died.
The boy was evaluated by paramedics but did not require hospitalization. Wait, so oh man, this is confusing. So he called for help because his son was stuck in the surf
Yeah.
or something,
Right.
and then nobody came, I guess. So he went in to go get him, and then he died.
Well, he
but
was
the
missing
boy
for
was
a
okay.
while.
Yeah, but how did he ask the lifeguards for help if he was missing?
Well, it was before he was missing.
So his son was just missing, and he called him.
Maybe
and then...
they just both went missing. And
No,
then
but it said
when
that
they found him,
he said that it disappeared. He disappeared after
while
urging
swimming.
lifeguards to rescue his 10-year-old son. So the son must have been in the water, and he got stuck in the powerful surf. He called for help. Nobody was coming or taking too long, so he went in the surf to try to help his son. He died, but the son.
Yeah.
It said his son got evaluated by paramedic. It didn't say he got rescued though, so I guess the son just made it back or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the kid survived if he didn't.
Well, that sucks. I'm glad his son's
Anyways,
okay, but
yeah. glad we're talking about this now.
yeah,
Jeez.
yeah.
Sorry for mentioning this topic. Holy hell. Um.
R.I.P.
Well, Rip Deck.
When was the last time you watched WWE? Do you like WWE?
No, but I
Yeah,
see
I
why
don't
people
either.
do.
Do you though?
Do you?
I don't really understand it.
Yeah, it's really entertaining. I mean,
Disagree.
it's sort of silly and plays to.
I can't see past the fact that it's just a series of practiced moves that don't do anything. I can't see past that.
Oh, I can see past that pretty easily. I mean, if just I don't know, you can just kind of dumb yourself down, turn
I
your
think-
brain off,
I think
and
the
just watch
memes
what's happening.
The memes that come out of it are really hilarious though, so I do appreciate that.
Oh yeah, there we go. But I think there's a few more things. What's our uptime?
We have been
Pretty
live
far, right?
2 hours.
2 hours 15 minutes.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Pretty solid.
let's end off on me. I'm gonna get a new phone this week. I'm excited about it.
Fuck yeah, you are.
Yeah, I'm gonna get. I think I've been an Android man my entire life, but I think I'm gonna go with the iPhone, and I'm gonna get that this weekend.
Please.
I think.
Please get the blue
Only
chat bubble.
because I want to get the blue chat bubble,
Yeah.
and I want to play 8-ball, and I'm gonna let
And
you
that's the
guys
only reason.
see me smash Coulter in 8-ball. It's the only
So
reason
what
I want to
happens-
smash Coulter in 8-ball.
What happens if you play the fuck out of 8-ball and then a week later you're like, game's not that much fun.
Not gonna happen.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have monthly payments just to play 8-ball. I'm gonna be
To
rich
keep
off
it
of
up.
it. Yeah, I'm gonna like gamble with people. We'll put up $5 bets on the games. It'll be great.
Yeah, but
Or
in
the
all honesty,
8-ball
I'm glad
tournament.
you're going to iPhone.
No, yeah.
Because I
In
can't tell
reality,
you
I have
how
family.
annoying.
All my family has iPhones, and my grandparents like to FaceTime and all that stuff. It'll be nice to FaceTime with them. And I had an iPhone in college because I was doing some Android development stuff, but I don't do that anymore. So I don't need it.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
think that overall iPhones are pretty good hunk of machine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I love them. I just can't tell you how pissed off I get when I text someone and it's green. You'll find out. You'll become one of the elites.
One of the elites.
But I've literally been in group chats before that exclude literally people in our friends group solely
Excluded?
because a green bubble will come up and we're like, okay, yeah, we'll plan it all here, and then once we figure it out, then someone else can tell him. Like it's that petty.
I will say that the Android messaging is real fucked. real fucked.
Yeah. Big bucks.
iPhone definitely is winning in that department.
Props
And
to
they have
Apple.
8-ball. That's the most important part. Is 8-ball.
All right. Well, there's a few more topics, but we can save them for next week. It's
Yeah, I
nothing.
think we covered most of them. A lot of gates,
a lot of drama
a
this week.
lot of gates.
There's a lot of gates going
Deergate.
on.
Yep. All right, we end it there. Episode 4.
Call it here.
We're recording on a Wednesday. We're still gonna get the episode out by Friday. Oh, our last episode got released a few days late, but it is up right now. Episode 3.
Oops.
So yeah, go check that
this
out.
one,
Blame
this one
Culture.
should be released on time.
Yeah, should
Due
be
to
by Friday.
difficulties.
So yeah, that's episode 4.
All right.
Episode 4. So yeah, get the VODs on YouTube at Paperweight Degrees. Follow us here on Twitch at Paperweight Degrees. We also have Twitter, Instagram. We upload clips, segments on Instagram
Best of
and
clips.
Twitter. Yep, Paperweight Degrees on Instagram and Paperweight D's on Twitter. Because Paperweight Degrees is
D's.
apparently
How you say
taken on Twitter. Yeah. So we gotta
Well,
we gotta
I'll
wait
have to
till
fix
we're
that
rich
one.
and we can buy out that handle eventually.
Right. Yeah. We'll just
So
bribe them.
maybe when we get that Spotify deal, we'll do that. All right. Well, that was
All right.
that was episode 4. So
Neat.
we will see you next week, probably
See
on
ya.
Thursday again, unless we're gonna change to Wednesdays. I don't know. We'll let you know. Don't worry about
Yep.
it.
We got
All
you.
right. Yeah. Later, guys.
All right. Bye.